You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile. Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
If I can't do it, homie, it can't be done. Now I'm a
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies, make money, money, money.
Hold out here for a pill. When he tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find the things in my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go, money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. We got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. We are talking about who's the real MVP of Week 6. We got a lot of games to cover. We're also going to be talking about some waiver wire ads. Let's get down to biz. Shout out to Toker1J. What up? What up? He said the Rattler did good in his first NFL game, but the defense was atrocious. Yeah, I think Rattler did pretty solid. Let's go. He was 22 out of 40, so not really the best in the efficiency column there, but 243, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs, 4 for 27 on the rushing. I thought he ran for a lot more. Sacked 5 times. 5 times. That's not good. Not all his fault, but I'm sure a few were. And Stranger, shout out to the Houday Nation. What up? What up? He said, my MVP is BJ Hill. That man got his revenge last night. Let's see. He was killing. Let's see if there was anything for, let's see, fantasy-wise. 18 points. Killed it. 7 total tackles. Let's go. 7 total tackles. Emil, what up? What up? Shout out to Canada, my brother. Andre in the house. What up? What up? Turko and Jeff, that performance last night. I got to get high. Got to go get high. Want to get high? I got some towel drops coming. Get ready, guys. Get ready. West said week 6 ain't big enough yet. Big Mike for 40 tonight. Let's go. Let's go. Jesse, what up, homie? Johnny said, here's the money. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
And Corbin, what up? What up? And we'll say if Denver wins yesterday, I win 16K. Fuck me. Why'd you think Denver was going to win? I mean, I know that the Chargers suck, but the Chargers coming off a bye versus one of the worst offensive teams in the league. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That might have been one of the reasons that made it up to 16 because maybe the line was so bad on them. But I swear to God, if you own a dynasty team, you're doomed to get injured. Bye bye, Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, that's why you need more. That's why you need more than one. I mean, come on, man. If you play fantasy football, you are doomed to get injured. So it's not just dynasty. Yeah, but that's why we like playing fantasy football, right? Because there's so many variables. So many variables. If it was easy, I doubt we would be this enamored with it. Because if everything just happened the way that it was supposed to happen, I doubt we'd even really care. Same with betting. If everything just happened the way that it happened, the odds wouldn't be as good, wouldn't be as favorable. A whole bunch of things, man. And BJ Hill almost tipped. Also tipped the Pratt INT. Okay, there we go. Yeah, on this, it's not showing me passes defended in the spot that I'm looking. But yeah, pass defended in our format of fantasy football is 3 points. So even more than a tackle because those passes defended, they're big time and a little bit more rare than a tackle. Wes said if the Saints lose Thursday, I'm peeling my Saints sticker off the back of my truck. Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe that. Not for 1 second do I believe that. Who do they got? The Broncos. Broncos are a tough game. Broncos are a tough game. They got a tough defense. Isn't it a lot of wasn't there a handful of injuries on the Saints side of things? Well said, drop Watson for Slayton. Single QB or super flex? West said Sean Payton returns home. Hill had 3 pass breakups. Okay, nice. Noise. Andre, what up? What up? Don't just said, Wes, I don't believe that because you're a true fan. You won't do it. Yeah, you won't do it, Wes. You won't do it. And if you do it, make a video. Make a video of you shitting all over the Saints because they deserve it. They're playing bad right now after playing good for a couple weeks. And no Derek Carr. Like this is going to be the true test. How much do you guys really hate Derek Carr? Because I don't think Spencer Rattler is going to be the guy who's going to be winning any games. You look at the next. Let's look at the next couple. Let's look at the next couple games. Let's see. They got the Broncos, then they got the Chargers, then they got the Panthers, and then you got the Falcons. So, well, actually, I guess the Bucks were included. They said Spencer Rattler is going to be the QB for like 3 to 4 weeks. So he's got, Broncos, Chargers, and Panthers at least. I don't think Spencer Rattler is going to be doing too much winning over those next 3 games. I could be wrong, but Quincy, Trey Tucker made me lose about half a point. Made me lose by half a point. He had 0 points. The Raiders are garbage. Like it sucks that he's like the number 1 wide receiver because of all the injuries and stuff. But like people, I keep saying that, like people forget it's not always just next man up. Sometimes the team sucks so much because the stars aren't there that nobody gets anything. And that was a prime example of it. Will said, I knew I was doomed with that Denver pick when Bo Nix threw that INT on the first drive, and then Patrick Surtain leaves. I mean, that's what changed it was Patrick Surtain getting hurt, not anything else. He said, drop Watson for Slayton and Superflex. Okay. Yeah, Wes, I know I ain't a true fan then. I'm a fan of my team. You damn right. And Andre, have PPR, would you trade Javonte for Darnell Mooney or trade Bucky for Wandale? I don't know. Probably not. DD Red Solo, what up? Will said Mark Andrews to the moon. And Tucker and Jay, next 4 games should be 4-0. Yeah, right. I mean, this is coming off of, let me see. I mean, really, after those first 2 games, the Saints have been horrible. Like the first 2 games, you catch the Panthers off guard because they're super fugazi, and then you catch the Cowboys off guard because they're super fugazi. Literally, since then, the Saints have not been good at all. Lose to the Eagles, you lose to the Falcons, and I know that those are close games, but still, get whooped by the Chiefs, then you get whooped by the Bucks. Yeah, Saints are not looking good right now. Will said Ridley had 8 targets, 0 catches. He's pissed. Yeah, Will Levi's fucking sucks balls, dude. He is horrible. Horrible. Let him know. Quincy hit the thumbs up. Everyone show some love for our boy. Appreciate you. Lipsy said CD screwed me last night. I don't think Garrett can get me 30 points. Well, who else screwed you? I mean, we can always say the best player on our team screwed us, but what did CD get yesterday? I mean, CD got 16 points last night. Like, yeah, is it 25 plus points? No, but he didn't get 0. He didn't get 0. Strange said I wasn't happy to hear that Watson is getting his chub again. And Jesse, should I keep Kendre or drop him for Hunt and Tracy Guanendo? I think I'd probably rather have Hunt. Scotty boy, what up, what up? And Lipsy said Mason as well. He got injured. Yeah, see, I mean, you know, either way, you gotta just play in more leagues so you're not so like micro focused on like, you know, one bad loss. Got to. Frizil, what up, what up? Tucker one jam to the point where fuck being a fan of any NFL team. I'm just saying, man, I know I'm a trendsetter in a lot of ways. I'm telling you, when the Chargers moved to LA and I became a free agent, no longer having an alliance to any NFL team, I swear my weekends got a lot better. Because it wasn't just fantasy football. It was not carrying along this baggage of a bad team that my happiness or sadness was based on them winning or losing. Like once you get over that, like that's this huge mental hurdle to get over, because even like as kids, I think we're like, you know, you have to cheer for a team. You know, you have to have a team that you're cheering for. So much better not having an alliance to an actual team that doesn't care about us anyways. My fantasy team is the gift that keeps on giving, not these NFL teams. Scotty Boy said, quick question. One of my leagues is open waivers. I have Jalen Tolbert on my bench. Thinking about dropping them for Dubs or Keenan Allen. I'd probably drop for Dubs. I mean, Keenan Allen was good, but I also feel like it was a little bit fluky. Who's Dubs got next week? Dubs has got Texans next week. Might not be that good. And Keenan's got... Actually, Keenan's on bye in week 7. It's the Bears and the Cowboys on bye in week 7. Frizil said, dropping Olave for Bubs means fuck it, we're winning championships. Bubs ain't winning, you know, championships, bro. And Quincy, what do you think about Drake May? I think he potentially could be better than Jacoby Brissett as of right now, you know, I mean, but the Patriots are trash. They are stupid for bringing him in. They're really stupid for bringing him in because the team is trash. The O-line is trash. And I feel like they could ruin them before you even get started. Legit. Lipsy said, I traded away Higgins and Mason for Walker and Devonta. I get those guys on Wednesday, though. Okay. I like it. Tucker one jab, been a Saints fan since I was a kid. I believe it. I was a Chargers fan since I was a kid. And you might be older than me, but I was still a Chargers fan since I was a kid. So I watched them build the dome sitting on the banks of Mississippi in the rain. Said my veins are infused. I believe it, man. I believe it. And seeing you got things going on with like the actual team right now that seem like super cool, you know. So I would definitely, you know, like those are reasons to like the team for sure. Stranger said I have to have a team to root for and against, even at 53. When I don't, I also don't have the same levels of interest and fun. Is why I don't watch other leagues. Yeah, definitely. I mean, storylines and interest, like that's kind of what like makes sports like, you know, is what it is. Like, I didn't really watch any Padres games this entire season. And then I picked the worst one to watch, like game 5 of the fucking playoffs when they get their ass whooped by the Dodgers. But yeah, it's like those storylines like still make you watch or want to watch. And yeah, like week 18, like football's like pointless for me. Like there's no fantasy football games. Like damn. I'm not even like interested. Like if I didn't play fantasy football, I legit might barely watch football. Barely. I'm sure I would watch it some, but it's fantasy football what keeps me watching for sure. For sure. Because yeah, it's my own interest, you know. Frizzo, how do you think the Texans defense would do versus the Packers? I think that you know, it has the potential to be a shootout. But both teams have been really tough at the end of the day defensively. Packers, they're like turnover machines. If it's not the interceptions, they're getting like 3 forced fumbles. Like, I just feel like even in decent games, like even with a decent team on the other side of them, I feel like the Packers are still good. I mean, they've just been handling biz. Shane said the teams I fell in love with as a kid when the players were still real life superheroes. Yeah, see, and I mean, like now, and see, they're only real life superheroes because we don't have enough insight like into them because things were like way more hidden. Feel like that's really what it is. Because for me, I mean, shit, I was born in 86 and like, you know, growing up in the 90s and shit, like, I don't know, like maybe it was just because there was so much going on like pop culture wise, and maybe it was because I was in San Diego and like the Chargers, you know, they were always kind of whatever. I mean, I know they did make the Super Bowl in 94 or whatever, but once they lost, it was like I lost a lot of respect for them as a kid because they got fucking their asses whooped. And yeah, so like these guys have never seemed like real life superheroes to me. Like if they would have won, or if like I would have been cheering for the 49ers or something, and like that was my team, like maybe it would have seemed like superheroes to me. But the Chargers like always failing. Like that's like what made me realize like, yeah, these guys are just human, you know. These guys they're just bums like so many other people in the world.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
You guys wait. I got a whole bunch of Rocky drops with the bum. I'm calling you a bum. First of all, I've been a Texas fan since 2002 when they were made. The Oilers fan before. He said the roller coaster of emotions when it came to having a favorite team makes it fun also. Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying that, you know, people don't have fun cheering for their teams because they do. But only one team fucking wins every single year. That's the hardest part about it. Only one team wins every single year. And I think that at the end of the day, people, you know, if you're a fan of the team, you can make excuses like why that team didn't win or justify like certain things. But when you don't win, like it's like a waste of a season, right? Like being a football fan of a team that doesn't win the championship, is it not like a waste of a season? You go through these roller coaster like emotions, like just like you're saying, Brazil, and then like at the end of the day, it's just like the pitfall of doom where you lose. Because that's what's tough. Only one team can fucking win, and like 1 out of 32. What's even that? What's even the percentage points of that? Yeah, I mean 3%. Everybody just has a 3% chance of winning when you start the season. You get a couple injuries, oh, now you're down to 2% or 1%. Shit, you have some drama go down. Shit, you're down some percentage points again. And Big Fudge, what up? And Jesse, what up? And Tucker One, can you imagine the talented Saints have playing Archie Manning in his prime? I don't know. How good was Archie Manning? I mean, I know, you know, I like obviously he's like one of the heads of the Mannings, but how good was he? Was he really that good? Because look at the Colts. Look at how bad the Colts were before Peyton got over there. I mean, shit, I think they only won like a couple games, right? When he was a rookie, they were really bad. He turned it around. And DD Red Solo, it's not about the summit, it's about the climb. Yeah, I get it. Makes you feel good when they're climbing, right? And Strange said Pete Rose and Ken Anderson were superheroes. And to the kids in the 70s, for sure. One of my heroes won it multiple times. Yeah, dude. Say it ain't so, Pete. Say it ain't so. R.I.P. to Pete. I met him one time and he made fun of the Padres. It was hilarious. It was fucking funny. And I got like right here. I know you can't really see it, but this up here looking on the left side of the screen, not the right. That's a Pete Rose jersey right there. I got my Pete Rose ball over on the side over there. And then I got 2 signed pictures from Pete Rose. It's fucking awesome, man. He'll be remembered forever, especially in this room. Tony said it's only a waste of a season if it's championship or bust. If your team is young and fun, it's not a waste. Man, I feel that. But like, what if you never win a championship? Like, okay, like, let's say the Texans, for example. I know that you're not. I'm just throwing this out there because this was literally just thrown out by Frazil. What if you're a fan of the Texans and you've been a fan of the Texans since 2002 when they first came into existence? Talking about 22 years of not winning a championship. So that means like 22 years of them never being number one, ever. Look at the Chargers. They've had, when did they even come back to the NFL? They fucking, somewhere in the 60s, right? I can't even remember. It might have been the 70s. Who the fuck knows? Chargers have gone their entire existence without a championship. I would rather jump off that ship than drown with it. That's just a specific example. And Will says, so if JT misses again this week, you think Goodson overtakes Sermon? Sermon was ugly to watch yesterday. I mean, how many players weren't ugly to watch yesterday? And did I not say that Sermon was going against literally one of the worst teams to deploy your running back against? Now, guess what? Sermon's going up against the Dolphins. They're literally one of the easiest teams to run on. So do I think Goodson overtakes Sermon? No, I think they're both trash. And I think it was a trash lineup. And look at the Jaguars situation. Look at the Jaguars situation. Oh, yeah, ETN's the shit. Oh, wait, Bucky's doing, Tank Bigsby's doing way better than fucking ETN. Oh, wait, now Dearness Johnson's doing way better than Bigsby. Like, there's so much context that goes into things. It's not just, oh, this guy was ugly for this, like, one half of this game, or this guy was ugly for this one game, and this guy looked really good, so he's just going to overtake everything. Like, no, that's not the way that it works. Not the way that it works. And for Zills, I said, now I'm officially part of fantasy football. Makes it weird when your fantasy opponent has players from your favorite team. For sure. For sure. It's a very big conflict of interest. Very big conflict of interest. And then who are you going to cheer for more? You know, that's the conflict. You're going to cheer for the team that you love, that you have this undying loyalty to, that even if they win, you get nothing except happiness. Compared to your fantasy football team, where when you win, not only do you get happiness, but you have a potential to win money at the end of all this when it's all said and done. We know why the players are playing. It ain't for the love of the game, and it ain't for the love of their team. We know that much. And Lipsy said, I don't know how I'm winning in the Wayfarers League, though. My team is ass. Just keep riding that wave. You never know. Just keep riding that wave. Because sometimes, you know, you might get blessed with the schedule that makes it to where your team is like mediocre, but somehow you are winning. And I'm not saying your team's mediocre. I'm just saying, like, if you're saying your team's ass, you're describing it in an even worse way than I am when I say mediocre. And Tucker 1J was great coming out of college. Who were we talking about? Pete or who? As it was cold as fuck, back injury. I was in the stands when Pete Rose hit 3,000. Damn. Said I missed 41.92 by a week and a half. Damn, that's pretty dope. That's pretty fucking dope. And Tony said, was the Texans last year a waste? I don't think it was. The biggest thing that sports bring is hope. Well, see, like, was it a waste? No. But look at this year. This year's kind of looking like a waste so far for them, because now you have expectations. It's never a waste when you don't have expectations. Like, was it you who said that if you're only championship or bust? Now they have the expectations of championship or bust. And so this season could be a really big waste for them. And let's see, what's their record as of now? Actually, never mind. They're 5-1. So it's only going to be a waste if they lose in the playoffs again. And then it would still be a waste. Like, if they lost to the Chiefs or the Ravens in the playoffs, even though that going into the season, I feel like most people would say that those were, you know, two of the favorites to make it. I bet you people still would say it'd be a waste. Look at the Bills. How many wasted seasons have the Bills had when they're like considered one of the championship favorites since, like, I don't know, 2020, one, maybe the year after Diggs got there. And Tucker 1J Red Sox, can you imagine being a Browns fan? Yeah, can be a Vikings fan. Like, I mean, throw it out, guys. If you're a fan of a team that's never won a championship, throw it out there. Let's hear it. Let's get rid of this stuff. And Tony said, you can say that successful eras were mismanagement, not individual seasons, less expectations of championship. Yeah, for sure. And I can agree with that. And Will said Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He had a lifetime ban. I do not want them to put him in the Hall of Fame. Like, dude, fuck giving people flowers when they're dead. Give them their flowers when they're fucking alive. The only reason that people give people flowers after they're dead is to help their own bottom line. So fuck that. He shouldn't even go into the Hall of Fame. And I doubt that he wants to. He wanted to be there. Like, fuck that, man. Like, dude, fuck the MLB. Like, dude, they knew that he was like getting close to the end. They could have enshrined him and made it right any of these last couple years. Now that sports betting is such a huge thing, I know you still can't bet on sports as a manager or a coach or anything, but we're just, I don't know. When you're that good and so many people have been given passes, he should have got one. Like, literally, like, now you're gonna fucking enshrine him after he's dead. Fuck that. What do you guys think about that? For anyone who's a Pete Rose fan, because he should have been in the Hall of Fame for a lot of fucking years. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm saying that they should have enshrined him when he was alive. In any one of these last years before he died, they had a chance. Shout out to Marco. What up, Marco? Will said, yeah, there's a lot of shitty plays yesterday. That's for sure. It was bad. At times in seasons where the team doesn't meet the expectations are somewhat of a wasted season. Yeah, definitely. A very true statement. What up, Corey? What up? Will said, just like Tucker would probably be a huge waiver wire pickup, but most of his yardage came when the game was already salted away. Yes, sir. I mean, but is that not going to happen? Is that not going to happen in a lot of games for the Raiders, though, where they are really sucking throughout most of the game and then it's like straight garbage time at the end? Brazil, yeah, I feel you. I have Ferguson. I'm a Cowboy hater. See? Fantasy football makes you do weird things because you want to get that money. We don't really we don't care about necessarily I don't even know how to say it, but it's like we care about our team, but we don't. Because, like, if you had the opportunity to draft 100% Texans, like, and knowing that you could actually win with that, you probably would. But we know that's not realistic. And Lipsy said, when your RBs are Dowdle, Spears, and Sermon, yeah, it's ass. Yeah. That's bad, bro. That's bad. And PJ, what up, homie? He said, hope yesterday was successful for you, Huss. Also, Calvin Ridley is the top 5 bust. I mean, we could say that. It's like, there's a reason why nobody wanted him when he went to the Titans. Like, we're seeing it right now why we did not want him going to the Titans. And we only drafted him because he was so fucking cheap compared to what he would have been if he was on the Jaguars or literally any other team besides the Titans. So this is why we hated him, because his quarterback sucks. Their whole scheme sucks. Their team sucks. And yeah, in turn, he sucks because of it. And Corey said, my 3 bench spot league, Chubb coming off IR, gonna have to drop someone good. Should I package someone? I would try to make a 2-for-1 trade or a 3-for-1 trade. Try to go after, he said, should I pack up like a Stevenson A-chain for an upgrade like Barkley or someone like that? Yeah, and you might have to make it a 3-for-1 because Stevenson and A-chain, those guys being hurt, like, unless you find someone who really like just likes the potential of those guys, like, you might have to throw down a 3-for-1. But either way, that's fine. Fuck it, 4-for-1 in the league that you only have 3 bench spots. There's decent guys on the waivers. And Tony said Texans are 5-1 right now. I don't think it's championship or bust season. You don't think so? I think as good as they did last year and their division being that ass, I mean, shit, they already won a game last year. Like, I mean, what expectations would you have? Like the exact same? Brazil, like you're a Texans fan, and I literally just brought up the Texans, Brazil, because you just brought them up, like right before this. Going into the season, what's your expectations for the Texans as a Texans fan? I would feel like the expectations would be to do better than they did last year. And that's like AFC championship, right? Potential Super Bowl. Maybe not winning the Super Bowl, but even then, if you're good enough to make the Super Bowl, fuck, I better be thinking you're good enough to win it. Strand said Pete basically said if he didn't get in while he was alive, fuck him. Exactly, man. Like I know that I heard him say that. And yeah, because fuck that, dude. Like if you let him in after the fact, it's only to help MLB's bottom line, not Pete Rose, not his family, none of that. Like fuck that. And Corbin said, I agree. They let Ohtani get away with it. Exactly, right? Like, I mean, if you are a big enough superstar, and we're talking Ohtani is the biggest baseball superstar in the fucking world, it's probably not even close at this point. Pitcher, fucking hitter. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, yeah, you let him get away with it. You let him get an interpreter. Yeah, of course. Ohtani didn't know that the guy who he spends all of his time with is betting on baseball. Sure. And specifically his games. And Joe said, just lost Hutchinson, got Buckner on IR. When you think he comes back, I'm picking up Dexter Lawrence. I don't think Buckner went on the IR, did he? So, well, I mean, I know you're saying on your IR. Did he go on the actual IR? I'm not exactly sure if he did or not. But either way, he's been out, what, 2 weeks, maybe almost 3 weeks now? PJ Huss bet on against his own team as managers by far. I mean, there's no proof that he bet against his team. Until you show me the proof, hearsay is bullshit, and he's someone who's been like a scapegoat like forever. So yeah, show me the proof where he bet on his own team, because as far as I knew, he bet on baseball and he bet on his team to win, but wasn't even always just betting on his team. And again, just like Ohtani did, it was not Pete Rose who was specifically placing those bets on himself. Okay, so let's remember that, because if Pete Rose deserves to be hated on, everybody should be hating on Ohtani with a fucking passion, because they did the exact same thing. And Strand said Pete should have been in. It was a commissioner dying. Oh yeah. Yeah, that shit sucks. And Corey said fantasy basketball draft 6 p.m. tomorrow night for sure. I mean, that's the time we're shooting on. I got to message everybody and, triple check. Chef Rand said, when your team in real life is the Titans, fantasy football is your only chance of being a winner. See? And Lipsy, when's Brooks coming back? I don't know. Like, he pretty much said that he's not in a rush to come back. I think that his injuries are I think the injury is bad, and you combine that with the injury happened last year and all that. And Yan, what up? I have Tyreek, and there's a guy who keeps offering Marvin Harrison Jr. and Josh Downs. Should I do it? No, don't do it. We're getting too close to Tua coming back. Brazil, how was Andre Johnson in fantasy? Sick as fuck. Fucking dope. I'm guessing JJ Watt was the top IDP drafting. People was drafting first round. JJ Watt was not a first round drafted guy, but I know multiple times in my league, JJ Watt was drafted as the first IDP overall, and it was so much higher than other IDP guys that it was insane. During those couple years that JJ was on a tear, insane. And because defensive line is like not a position that has a lot of depth, like imagine, I'm trying to think of like a tight, like just imagine if it was like Kelsey and like Kelsey versus all the tight ends is already crazy. Just imagine like Kelsey did twice as good as he did. Like that's like the equivalent to like JJ Watt during those years when he was just fucking insane. And Andre Johnson, always a top guy. Always a top guy. Corey said Chubb, Stevenson, A-Chain for me. No, don't go after Mason. Like, dude, not that we heard the CMC news. No, you were right when you said Barkley. Don't waver from what you just said and go down. You should be shooting for Barkley. You should be shooting for Henry. Can't remember if you have Henry on your team or not in that one, but yeah, shoot for Barkley and give up 3 or 4 players for Barkley. Go there. And Joe said, I have Dalvin Cook. I hope he plays this year. He ain't. He said, keep in mind, no RBs to pick up in my league where you hold 40 players, start 15 IDP. Yeah, I mean, but Dalvin Cook's not playing. I feel you, but yeah, he's not. Marco said he did get an offer in what? In my HL. Oh, home league. Okay. Is that I get Jacobs, Herbert for Ayuk and Worthy. Also include Neshchema. So what was the I mean, like, what do you need to improve on that team? Let's just start there. Throw it out there. What do you need to improve? And I says, hey there, Alex, happy Columbus Day. Yeah. Yeah, I know Columbus Day is a thing, but I don't really cheer. I don't know. They doing the Columbus Day parade. Yeah, you won't see me attending any Columbus Day parade, just saying. And Craig said Garrett Wilson will be the real MVP of week 6 when he gets me 7.6 points. Hey, 7.6 points from Garrett Wilson. Smash. And Strainer said Rose bet on his team to win only, never to lose. That's what I thought too. Willpower said imagine placing millions of dollars on Ohtani's unders and then he sucks. And then, yeah, that's not rigged or anything. And PJ said notebook obtained by ESPN outside the lines. Yeah, 15 shows extensive evidence of Rose bets on the Reds, even though it indicated he did not. He said, have you ever met a compulsive gambler? You know Rose undoubtedly chased losses and bet against himself. I mean, maybe. But at the end of the day, so many other people are doing it. I could give a fuck less, Like, I really don't care about him betting on baseball. Because you know what? At the time, was there a rule against that? Like, it's a morally, wrong thing. But, now there's, official rules in place for that where you get suspended for anything. And, nothing happened to Ohtani. So MLB has been and will always be a bunch of old white hypocrites who just do things to fill their bottom line. Because how come Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and all that shit in the 90s, the steroids and all that shit, nobody gave a fuck. But yeah, come Barry Bonds. And he, breaks Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth's record, and oh man, people are up in arms, So I could give a fuck less about I just don't care. Yeah, it may be morally wrong to some people, but I don't think there was an official rule when it happened. And it said, of course there was a rule. Okay. But just like Ohtani, why is nothing happening to Ohtani? Why is Ohtani not getting a lifetime ban? Because Pete Rose was not the one giving the cash. They already said that. He had an interpreter, just like Ohtani, who was the guy who placed all his bets for him. So until Ohtani gets a lifetime ban, don't come at me with Pete Rose being a bad guy. He was just a trendsetter. That was it. And Frazil said, damn, I wish I started fantasy football way sooner, but here we are now. Yeah, I mean, you being a Texans fan and the Texans not necessarily winning a bunch of championships and stuff, or any championships, you would have loved playing fantasy football because Andre Johnson was the shit. Arian Foster was good for a handful of years. They had Schaub. They had Matt Schaub. He was killing it for a while too. And at least fantasy football wise, Andre said, would you trade Brian Thomas Jr. for Mahomes, QBs, Aaron Rodgers, Geno? If you could get Mahomes for Brian Thomas Jr. right now, I might. This is a time to buy low on Brian Thomas Jr. But potentially. And Strainer said Pete Rose doesn't just have the most hits in baseball. He has the most wins of any player in any professional team sport ever. That's beyond Hall of Fame worthy, for sure. And especially the way that he did it, it was all hustle, it was all hustle. Never the most talented guy, but would outwork anybody. And the thing that's crazy is hearing him give hitting advice. It's almost insane to hear it. I remember he's giving Alex Rodriguez hitting advice, and they're like, Pete, what would you do when you would go in a slump? And he was like, well, the stupidest thing that you could do is change your swing. He was like, I hear guys say this all the time. I got to change my swing. I got to adjust this. I got to adjust that. He was like, nope. All you got to do is adjust where you're standing in the box. He said, if guys are getting you out on those curves or whatever, all the off speeds, scoot up in the box. See what happens. He was like, it's your swing that got you to be a professional. And he said, and if you're getting, he said, and if it's the opposite of that, you scoot back. And then sometimes you step away from the plate. And sometimes you step into the plate, no matter what's happening. He's like, you got to know why you are getting out. And then you just adjust your position in the batter's box. So smart. And Terrell said, my MVPs, Chris Godwin and my kicker. Man, fuck those kickers. But Chris Godwin, woo, killing it, man. Chris Godwin, what did he have? He had 13 targets, 11 catches, 125 yards. Woo! 35 total points. Mix in those 2 touchdowns. Killer day. Killer day. And Toko and Jay Frizzell, me too. Yep. So 8th year. Nice Toker one. Ryan's, your opinion on James Cook performance tonight is questionable. I mean, I've been nervous about I've really been nervous about James Cook all week. They say he's going to play, but it's a really bad matchup. It is a really bad matchup for him. And you know, if you're already rocking with him, you're going to keep rocking with him, but I wouldn't expect a huge game out of him. Okay, the rule's been in place since the Black Sox scandal. Yeah, fucking. And they actually like and they actually completely threw the game or series even. So that's what baseball brought back, was the home run hit off. Yeah, man, all because of steroids. But then look, then you get someone breaking people's records, and people don't like that, especially if it's a black man, like breaking Babe Ruth's record, even though it was already broke by a black man. But this is what it is. Peace out, Johnny. We'll catch you in a minute, homie. And for me, the Texans would have made it past. Would need to make it past the divisional round. See, there you go. There you go. So got to win 2 games. Got to win 2 games. I mean, unless somehow they get the bye. All right, so Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. He earned it while playing. Yep. Because like, how many guys have like trying to think of this. How many of these guys did the shit after they were a player affect them getting in while they were, you know, like when they earned it on the field? Because like, I just don't know too many situations where that's happened like at all. Because was he actually betting on baseball when he was a player? Like probably, who the hell knows? But I would assume so, but I don't know. Has that ever like came up? And Marco said Prescott's on bye next week. My only QB on RBs. I'm not that good either. JT, Pacheco, Sermon, Justice, and Tucker. And the other guy said he needs wide receivers. And I totally forgot. So what was it? You were getting Jacobs and Herbert for Ayuk and Worthy. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's kind of selling high on Worthy, and it's kind of selling Ayuk for probably what he's worth. I think I would do that. I mean, Herbert, I mean, obviously it hasn't been that good, but I feel like better days are ahead. You also got Drake May, A-Chain, Ken Walker, Tracy Caleb. Maybe try to get someone different besides Josh Jacobs. Robert said, my MVP is Stroud. He said if Nico didn't get hurt, he'd be my MVP. Chris, what up, bro? Trade away Devonta Smith for Dobbins. No. Doug said Wednesday Whopper and the SpongeBob burger at Wendy's are fire. It doesn't look fire. It looks like straight ass. Just like that fucking double chicken Big Mac looks like straight ass. And Jesse said, you think Allen's going to ball out tonight? I don't think he's going to ball out tonight. No. I think he does good. Yeah. But if Shakira is not playing, I don't know. It seems like Shakira is the whole like piece to like making that thing go. And Robert said Barry Bonds was smart enough to keep his mouth shut the entire time still to this day. Yeah. What's the point of saying anything? He already saw what happened when people fucking talked about it. Like they just got in more trouble. Yeah. No comment. Let's keep hitting those home runs. And Mark says, as far as I know, MLB is not part of the international doping community or whatever it's called. That's why they can make their own rules with players on juice. Ooh, interesting. And Terrell said, what did Gibbs do to the team to deserve this type of usage? Why couldn't they get him a TD? Yeah, I think that they realized that here's what I really think. Like, you guys tell me. Okay, since Barry Sanders, there's been a curse on the Lions RBs. They always fucking get hurt and they always fucking die and they never make it to like a second contract, like ever. Like, I mean, just tell me one guy who we're talking since Barry Sanders, okay? Not Barry. Since Barry Sanders, that they've actually drafted a running back that made it to a second contract, like with them. I don't think that that's happened for them at all since then. Like, they are cursed because of Barry Sanders and the way that they handled him. And I really think that they know that. And that's why they're trying to not let Gibbs die. Like, I really think that. And like, Monty's been like so decent for them. He really has. And like, I feel like there's not too many NFL running backs that can actually be a difference maker in a Super Bowl championship. Like, I don't think there's too many single running backs that are going to be like super huge difference makers. I mean, maybe like a Derrick Henry, but like, look, like even like CMC, like, I mean, shit, he's been in the Super Bowl and he didn't even make a difference, like that. So I feel like there is no one guy that can do it. They got to keep this 1-2 punch healthy. Because when it comes to like playoffs and shit, what if they start uncorking Gibbs with like all types of crazy like pass work and just like all different types of work, and they just need to keep him healthy? Until then, it could be. And Doug said Tony will ball soon.
Man, fuck Tony.
And Frizzar scored 122 points, was the second highest score in my whole league, but I still lost. Yeah, see, that's the bad luck of fantasy football for sure. Olave with -1 and Ferg with 2. Whew. Rough, man. And seeing like it's just a bad beat, man. Like that, it sucks. It really does. And said Stranger said Huss Pete was betting on while he's a player manager. I believe it. And there's something we'll probably never see again, a player manager. Yeah. So see, not when he was only a player, right? And PJ, did you play the killer kill for Hutchinson? Man.
They killed Killer B.
Man, that was bad. It was so bad they couldn't even show it. And just said, I really traded Dak and A-Chain last week for Allen. Oh, man. Well, it's not like Dak did any good this week. And A-Chain didn't even play. So could Allen outscore Dak? Yeah, for sure. And Robert said, morning, by the way, Alex, I had bought in on ATL Mooney, gave up 3rd and 4th round picks and 8th picks from next year's draft. I did too much. Probably. I mean, it's a dynasty, PPR dynasty league. I mean, that's a lot, but the 3rd and 4th picks, I mean, you're talking like a lot of scrubs at that point. Like 1st and 2nd round, I mean, those are the super, super valuable. So yeah, I mean, the Cowboys and Dak, just everything looked very bad. The Lions coming off of the bye, whoop that ass. Brazil said Flowers and auto start rest or sell high for a better wide receiver 1. It depends on how high you are, selling high on him for. It was a great matchup versus Washington, like an insane matchup. Like, they just give up booty to the wide receivers and quarterbacks like crazy. But he's very damn close to an auto start. I mean, who do they play this week? I'll tell you if I'm just automatically starting them this week. They play the Bucks. Fuck yeah, I'm starting them this week as an auto start. Hell yeah. PJ could say the same thing about Amon-Ra Gibbs. You said, fuck yeah, dude. He said, like, thank God they got him a garbage TD at the end. Not some tackle eligible bullshit. Right, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, I hate that, dude. Like, when they start throwing to the tackles, oh man, like it really chaps my ass. It really does. Like, dude, you guys are getting way too fucking cute. Like, out there, get the fucking guys their stats. Get the guys their goddamn stats. And Marco said if A-Rod were a football player in Europe back in the days, he would have been in history for getting caught second time being on the same drug. Oh, shit. That's interesting. That's interesting. That baseball like separates themselves from that so they get to police their own. It's smart for sure, but interesting at the same time. Perry said, hey, said, y'all, we still them boys. And Strange said Pete was playing, managing, and betting all in one game. Hey, man, I mean, dude, talk about Charlie Hustle, man. Not too many people hustle as hard as him, that's for sure. And he's probably getting paid like dog shit, like as well at the time. Player, manager, all that shit, and still getting paid dog shit. Yeah, sucks, man. Aram said, bro, I fractured my tibia in OK and Warner was like 12 or 13. Not fun. Ooh. I believe it, bro. I believe it. It's it doesn't seem like something that would be anywhere close to pleasant. And Robert said with the Hutchinson leg injury on ESPN, they're talking about Detroit trading with the Raiders for Max Crosby. I mean, that would be crazy if they did. I mean, I don't know how, you know, cap wise and all that, how that shit would be working. But yeah, I know. I bet Crosby wants to get the fuck out of there. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody does want to get the fuck out of there. Tells it. Can we play the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife song for the Cowboys? Peter say, yeah. You saw Crosby shove the coach. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's pissed out there. And it sucks because Antonio Pierce like took over a real horrible situation, and the situation did not get better like at all. And it's like you need to fully rebuild, like fully rebuild. And like, yeah, that means getting rid of a guy like Crosby and getting as much as you can fucking get for him. That means getting rid of Devontae Adams, getting as much for him as you can get for him. That means trying to think. They literally have no other premier players. I mean, maybe Christian Wilkins, but get rid of him, man. Like, well, now he got hurt actually. So yeah, never mind. Fucked up on that. Yeah, but like the Raiders, they needed to like fully implode. Jacoby, I mean, I don't know if anybody would even really want Jacoby, but yeah, I mean, just get rid of everybody. Get rid of everybody who's worth a damn, and get as many picks as you can and fully rebuild, man. Fully rebuild. Frizzil says Sean Tucker a trap. Fuck yeah, he is. Said I have Bigsby and don't want to fall for that again. Well, yeah, see, here's the thing. Yeah, bad PJ said except Bowers, I guess. Maybe. Maybe. But I feel like if you could sell high on Bowers right now, dude, fuck it. Like this rebuild for them is going to be a couple years for sure. And like the one thing that they don't have to worry about is ticket sales, because everybody will come to Vegas to watch their team beat the shit out of the Raiders. Like that's the one thing that the Raiders have going for them that no other stadium has going for them. You can damn near sell out every fucking week based on the opponents that you fucking play, because the opponents will be coming into town buying those fucking tickets. PJ said so many Steelers fans there. I mean, dude, there's fans of every team in Vegas because Vegas is a big transplant city. Like are there a shitload of people who are from, Vegas originally? Yeah. But like every time I meet new people in Vegas, it's like, it was kind of like it was in San Diego. Like, I mean, I would meet people in San Diego and most of the time it'd be like, oh yeah, I moved here from here. Like whatever. Like not too many San Diego natives that I just like randomly, meet. PJ said, man, any excuse to go to Vegas for a weekend. So you damn right. What up, Chris Bay? What's going down, bro? I'm not going to play that, Will. I don't want to see the Hutchins injury. I'm sure it will probably make me sick. And Jay said, going to have to dump Hutchinson now. I mean, if it's redraft, yeah. Strand said Max Pete made 1 year as a player manager with 7.1 mil 1986. That's 23 mil in 2024 dollars. I mean, yeah, it's nothing, man. And I know that they weren't the powerhouse that they were today, but as they are today, the MLB, but still. And Robert said sell Myers. Yeah, but see, like Myers kind of sucked, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like he's okay, but like they probably drafted him way too high like last year. He's not living up to expectations. And Johnny said, I'm back. Blood pressure and cholesterol back in the normal range. Let's go. There we go. You smoke a little weed before you go in. That'll bring the old blood pressure down. Marco said, just like the BioGenius scandal, only like 14 players were suspended and some are still active. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's so many people that have been like praised for like cheating. Like, it's like, I'm not going to hate on certain people for cheating and then praise other people for cheating. I'm taking one side. Either I don't give a fuck about you cheating. Like we're talking, you know, just I don't give a fuck about you cheating the rules, steroids, gambling, like whatever. Or I take the other side where I completely hate any time that you cheat in any sense of the word. I'm going on this side where I don't give a fuck if anybody's cheating, because I swear for like the MLB and all that, like they were letting it happen for the longest time, and it got so out of control that now they have to put their foot down. Now they have to find the scapegoats. It's bullshit. Big Bando, what up, bro? And Johnny said, I told the doc it was high because the first month of fantasy. And then he goes, goddamn Patrick Mahomes. You can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up, bro. That's fucking hilarious. You should have been recording that. That would have been fucking awesome. And PJ said, I just looked and Lamar Flowers are going to be on bye week 1 of the playoffs. Your playoffs are week 14. Why? Why is it not week 15, 16, and 17? Because like, yeah, week 14 buys weren't always a thing. But like once they became a thing, like playoffs should have been changed for sure. Yeah. So why is it week 14 to 16? You guys just didn't change as the NFL changed their schedule and all that? Week 17 doesn't count. I mean, week 17 is huge now for in NFL games. Like week 16 used to be kind of bad, like back in the day when they had the 2 buys. But now that because you know, a lot of guys would just like sit their guys, but now you only have 1 bye week team and you have 7 playoff spots that people are fighting for. There's more happening in the second to the last week of the season than ever before. What up, Austin? He said, what up, Huss? He said, man, Godwin's a beast, top 10 receiver rest of the season. I don't know if I'm going to say top 10 every single week, but hell yeah, dude. Like, I think he finishes as a wide receiver 1. Like, he's getting so much work out of the slot. And Blue, what up, rest of the season? Can you rank these guys from best to worst? Hill, Neighbors, London, St. Brown. Best, I will say. This one's tough. I'll say Amon-Ra, Hill, Neighbors, London. That's the order. And Mark said, bike racing and Tour de France, impossible to achieve that with the amount of time without doping. Okay. Big Bando, I'm up 60. Opponent has Josh, Garrett, Cook, and the Jets D tonight. What do y'all think? I think you're probably going to be stressed, but you got a good chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Well, so what kind of league do you play in? That's fucked. You say what kind of dumb commission sets up the playoffs? Yeah, for week 14 to 16, time for a new commish for sure. Hey, shout out to Derek. What up, bro? And Robert said maybe because before teams had good records, Saturday players who didn't play them all that much. I mean, that was always kind of the thing, like for week like 16, like back in the day, because there was 4 bye week teams, you know, for the playoffs. So like you could have potentially 4 teams that were sitting all of their starters because they had like zero reason to if they already locked down one of the bye weeks. But now they changed that. They added 1 more playoff team per conference. So that automatically just brings out more competition. And then they changed it to where there's only one bye week team. So that means less teams are sitting their starters. Like, I don't even, like, it's just not as much. And if people do sit their starters, it's week 18. So what type of RB can I get for Mason and Deontay Johnson? I don't know. I kind of hate answering questions like that because, like, even if I tell you like 10 people, like, it might not align with that manager. So I would just go find someone that's a little weak, that Mason and Deontay Johnson are two surefire starters for them, and then see like what better players they have, and try to get one of those players. And trade Cup to get Gibbs. No, I don't really want to trade Gibbs. Trade for Gibbs, not at this point. Marco said there's a reason why they didn't give the championship to Lance Armstrong, to someone else everyone knew in the top 10 he would get caught with drugs or somehow involved in doping. Yeah. Crazy. Also, Huss, I knew the post would trigger a lot of people. Good engagement, though. Yeah. Peace out, Derek, if you're already heading back to work. You the man. You the man. Big Bando said, what are they saying about Cook looking like a definite tonight? It's looking like he's going to play, yeah. Outside of that, though, we don't know much. Caleb and A-Chain for Worthy and Ayuk. Well, Caleb's on bye, so that doesn't help you, Marco. Because you're trying to get someone to play like this week, right, for Dak? Yeah, it doesn't help you. Abraham said, I need 19 points from Cook to win my work league. You got a chance?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Chase said, what up? Let's rip some bowls. I'm up almost 17. Opponent has Kincaid. Do I win or lose? I love your chances.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Big Bando said, we think Najee keeps this up, or we selling high, boys. I think Najee keeps it up, but you got to look at the games. Like, I mean, the matchup was good versus the Raiders. They got the Jets this week. So it's a horrible matchup, for him. I'm sure better matchups, will be ahead. Let's see. Yeah, you got the Giants the week after, decent. You got Washington the week after, really good. And then you go back to the Ravens and the Browns, but yeah, if you're going to sell them high, you sell them high this week specifically. But, Najee's been super consistent, man. He's been super consistent. I don't even think people, like, everybody knows, like, he's got 1,000 yards in each of his seasons. And, like, I know that 1,000 yards isn't all great if he was like literally like at 1,000 like each year, but that's 3 years where he's giving you enough games to at least get to 1,000. Like, how many guys are getting hurt to where they don't even give you enough chances, like playing to be able to get you to 1,000 yards. Joker 1J, hey, look at the Debo League. I'm a matchup I'm supposed to win. If I do, which player would you steal? Let me see. I can't remember. You in the one with IDP or the one without? I think the one without. Or no, here you go. Yeah. You're beating a 5-0 team. Good shit, dude. Well, potentially. If Josh Allen goes insane, you might not win. I mean, you probably need the running back bad, so I'm probably taking Barkley. You got Barkley and Joe Mixon. Yeah, he's been on a tear, man. I'm going to win this week, but I'm beating a team that's not that good, so I don't even know, like, who the fuck to take. Sucks. All their best players suck. Doesn't even have 2 QBs. Yeah. And Big Bando got Chubb coming off IR. Let's go. Robert say, you think the Jets are going to run the ball tonight more instead of watching Rodgers drop back 50 times? They better. They better, because literally the Bills have been one of the best teams at defending the quarterback and wide receivers, and they've literally been like one of the worst teams at defending the running back. So I know any given Sunday, and I know people, game plans like change and shit like that. But if we know that the Bills have been ass at defending the run, and we're just like normal folk, these motherfuckers who are getting paid like all this fucking money better know that as well. That's all I got to say about that. And Terrell, how you feel about Romeo? Picked him up and dropped Wicks. I mean, I like that move specifically. Didn't think Rome was going to throw down 2 touchdowns, but I know he's going to be a big part of that offense. You know that. Marco's still some QBs on waivers. Darnold. Dude, pick up Darnold, man. Pick up Darnold. Fuck making that dumbass trade with that guy. Pick up Darnold. Because he was probably only dropped because of the bye. I mean, well, I guess it's probably a single QB league, but he probably mainly just dropped because it was a bye. And John, what up? Say your thoughts on Zach Moss getting 0 fucking points. How many points did he actually get, though? I mean, I know he... Oh, shit. Oh, because he fumbled. That's why. When you fumble, a lot of times you get taken out of the game, if you're not the guy. I wasn't excited about him coming in to this week or last week. He's been a little bit banged up. And I was more on the Chase Brown side coming into this season, saying that Chase Brown was going to be the guy. Didn't look like it was the right call in the first couple weeks of the season, but every week that goes on, it seems like more and more going to be the thing. And yeah, I just think moving forward that Chase Brown is going to be the 1A. Hey, King DLBC. What up, homie? Shout out to the LBC. What up? Tucker and Jam leaning Mixon, but I want to cripple his team by taking Jackson. I got a carousel of QBs, though. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, I wouldn't really think of I would think of how you're going to benefit your team the most. Don't get in the habit of, I want to screw this team over, because no matter what, you're screwing the team over by taking one of their star players, no matter what. So do what's best for your team. And Colby, what up? He said Monday morning woes, man. 1-5 in this one league, 0-6 in another. Never started the season off this way, man, bro. Well, I will say, if you go follow me on YouTube and you just, stick with the channel, even in the off season, I guarantee you won't be like that next year. I can for sure guarantee that. But you got to stick around in the off season. Like, don't take a hiatus. We do a lot of stuff in the off season. And it's Fantasy Football Hustler on YouTube. I'm not sure which Facebook page you're watching it on. Big Bando and Chubb coming back. I'm either gonna have to drop Slayton, Leggett, or Space Juicer. Two of these guys are gonna be on my waiver wire video this week. One is not, and I think he's just rostered in too many leagues. That's tough, man. I'm gonna say Slayton. And yep, probably Slayton. Yeah, I mean, assuming that Neighbors is coming back. And Christian, Caleb, Henry, Cook, Amon-Ra, Reed, Pitts, T. Waddle. I like it. Marco said he was never picked up in that league. I'm pretty sure about it. It's a QB league, and we can't have more. Oh, that's why you can't have more than 3 QBs. That's why I have only Prescott the last few years. Okay. Robert said, I thought Chase Brown was the guy. Moss can't stay healthy. Brown had a TD taken away from him last night for the holding call. Yeah. He still got 1. I mean, it would have been nice if he would have gotten 2. It's not like either one, even in their best games. I mean, shit. Chase's best game was when he doubled up on the touchdowns in week 4, and he had 23 points, which is good. That means outside of those touchdowns, he only had 9 points. You take away the touchdown. You take away the touchdown from this past game, he only had 7 points. So it's not great either way. But you hope that he's the guy who can keep getting it into the end zone. And Big Band, obviously, I finally trade Allen this week, and he pops off for 20 plus. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it, though. I mean, it sucks, the timing. But that's why we got to be paying attention to the matchups, like super hardcore. I mean, this was a very good matchup for the Bears wide receivers. Did we necessarily know that it was going to be Allen getting 2? Like, no. But Jags have been kind of a cakewalk. All right. Let me go get the let's get the week 6 injury list. It is ugly. And then we'll get ready to get the waivers pulled up here. How long have we been rocking so far? Hour and 15. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. And Big Man also been holding on to Evan Ingram. Got Kelsey, might be the best time to try to flip him. Yeah, I mean, right after getting, what did he get? 10 receptions, 100 and something yards. It was a decent game for him. I mean, you got Kelsey coming back, and now with no Rashee Rice, I think Kelsey's all good in the hood. Marco said need about 45 more points from Hamlin and no more than 2 points from Russo to win my home league. All right. Well.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! And Boston, what up, says having Gibbs and Amon Ra a disadvantage. No, it's not a disadvantage, but it hasn't really worked out that well so far. And CB Dizzle, how can I join a playoff league after the season is over? Man, I'm so happy that you asked that. You want to go join our community at 420crew.com. 420crew.com. That's the main place that I'm always posting about leagues first. Okay, there's a lot of posts that go on in there. And whether you're a free member or a paid member, you will be able to get into the playoff leagues as long as you're a follower of the show. Okay. It's there's going to be a lot of people who they're not necessarily paid Patreon members, and maybe they won't have access to as many leagues. So I will say join as a paid member so you get access to more. The paid members get first cracks at everything. Okay, that's just something to remember. Just the paid members, like, you're like the VIPs. So I take care of those guys. Take care of everybody, but the VIPs get the special treatment. And so, yeah, 420crew.com. Last year, there were $33 leagues. There were $55 leagues. 55! And may do one that ends up being a little bit higher. But it's really just a 3-week tournament and super fun. We do all the drafts are going to be happening the week in between when week 18 ends. That Sunday is of week 18. We're literally going to start drafting that Monday through that Friday. So it's like 5 days worth of drafting. There's going to be slow drafts. There's going to be fast drafts. There's going to be multiple drafts a day. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be on Fantrax, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, but Sleeper doesn't offer the format, so we got to make do. Hopefully one day Sleeper would offer the format. It'd be fucking awesome. And Doug said, I'm excited for Tracy Jr. getting Barkley vibes as a rookie. Well, let's just remember, Barkley sucked for a lot of years over there, and they didn't give two shits about him. And Marco said should have started Tucker instead of Justice. Would have won my matchup. A lot of ifs, right? Yeah, that's for sure. Johnny said the playoff leagues are dope. Totally different strategy for sure. Because it's like literally 3 weeks. And like now it's like not only do you got to pick who you think is going to do good, now you got to pick who's going to do good and make it the farthest. Because it's always the people who have the most drafted players who make it to that 3rd week who usually end up winning. You know, if you guess right on like your teams that make the, like on your players who are like on the teams that make it to the Final Four. I don't do it to the Super Bowl because with only 2 teams in the Super Bowl, I feel like, yeah, the people guessed right on whoever like made it to the Super Bowl, but I also wanted to be competitive, like for the top 3. Because that's to get paid. It's not head to head. It's a big battle royale, and whoever's in the top 3 scoring at the end of those 3 weeks is in the money. Yeah, super fun. I love it, and I've been doing this since the 2021 playoffs, so the 2020 season, and we haven't looked back. I think last year there was like 15 or so leagues. This year I bet we get a bunch more, and this year hopefully we get some people telling their friends about it. I'm gonna make everything on League Safe this year. Like the more random people we get, it's like I gotta make it on League Safe because you know, like for people who don't know me, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna give this guy that I don't even fucking know $55. So yeah, I'm gonna like set everything up on League Safe to make it to where, you know, like it's really easy for people to like vouch for me when I'm like, yeah, like everything's on League Safe. He's not jacking the money or anything, you know. Makes it a lot easier. And what up, Justin? Said, can I have a bong hit, please? That's another loss in best ball. Man. I'm going to go check my team that's 10-0 right now in best ball. Let's see. Because I know one of the reasons why my team was so good is because of Darnold. And Darnold is on bye. I know he's not my only quarterback, but now you got me curious. Let me see. Does this person have anybody else? So they got Coleman left, but Coleman would have to score. Who's their least highest player on offense? Coleman would have to score more than 11.55. And he would need to score like 9 or 10 points over that. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, Darnold. Ooh, I had Goff. I got Goff on this team too. And Derrick Henry and Devonta Smith and Amon-Ra and Kittle. Nice. This is a solid team. IDP is not necessarily the best over here. I did have 2 of my stud IDP guys out. There we go. But yeah, hopefully I get that win. I still got Coleman to face off there. And Flappo, what up, homie? So I got offered a trade. Of it, I get Devonta Smith, Joe Mixon. I give up Amon-Ra. Got Hurts and AJ. James Conner and Stevenson as my main RBs. Man, it makes me want to. I would almost say yes. And what's your record? What's your record? You need to win. And Robert said, what are you smoking this morning? Myself hitting the pen with a cart called Milkman. I like it. Let me see. So this, I am smoking. What the hell is the brand? It is. Well, I know it's 26% THC. But why am I not seeing the strain? Actually, I think it's Mojave. Yeah, Mojave? I don't know. I really can't remember. Oh, no, it's some kind of Runts. I don't know why it's not in a better spot on the bag. I like ripped it. But let me go see. Because it's what I bought recently from the dispensary. Let me see where. It is the Runts your face off. There you go. Runts your face off. Yeah, Marco said, fuck league safes. Yeah, you're good, Marco. You already know that you'll be able to get in, whether it's league safe or not. I got you, bro. But see, not everybody would be able to offer something like that for their international peeps. But I got you. CB Dizzle, I think your credibility speaks for itself. 4, 5, and 6 hour streams are some real work. I appreciate you, bro. But there's a lot of people who get into these leagues who don't watch me on YouTube. You know, there's a lot of people that I meet in the fantasy football group that I have. It's like 100,000 people deep, where they don't even know who the fuck I am. You know, like I'm just some Joe Schmo. And then I tell them I'm the admin, like I'm the only admin. I started this shit like 9 years ago. They're like, whoa, that's cool. 100,000 people. I'm like, yeah. And then here's my YouTube channel. And so, you know, that's enough for some people, but then there's still some people, no matter what, that go, all these YouTube influencers are just scammers. Flappo said 3 and 3. I might make that move. I mean, yeah. At least you're getting 2 top end guys, you know, for Amon Ra. I feel like that's mutually beneficial. And Toker 1J, you the man. Thanks for feeding the super chats. You the man, homie. Let's smoke it up. This bowl's for you, Toker 1J. Marco said A-Chain and Jacobs for Ayuk and Worthy. I thought it was quarterback issues that you had. I know you said you had running back issues also. I thought you said there was quarterback issue. Stranger time refilling my bowl with some left coast crusher. Let's go.
Smoke weed every day.
I'm about to show y'all who the real Puff Daddy is. You got perfect timing. About to start a little puff give in this motherfucker.
Whew, that was a good one. And Johnny said, just check, gonna go 12-0 in the number 20 and in the 55. 55! Dude. Yeah, and it I think now I haven't gone and checked Crispy, like as of right now. Crispy, he's gonna be on a little mission, you know, going and checking the different leagues, maybe seeing some of the top teams, top scores, you know, things like that. I just haven't really had time to go through it because there's so many. And I feel like I don't want to just go through like 10 of them. Like I feel like if I'm going to do it, I have to go through all 141 or 142 or whatever it is to do it the justice. But through after 6 weeks, I'm curious how many 12-0 teams there are going to be. Because I mean, because that means not only did you win your games, but that meant you were one of the top, you know, scoring teams of each week as well. And that's no easy feat. I'm curious how many teams out of all, because let me see, how many divisions do we have in again? Is it 141 or 142? Let me go check. It is 142. So 142 times 12, 1,704 teams. Curious how many of those out of those 1,704 teams, how many teams are 12-0? So that I will do, and at least we'll shout out. I'm curious how many there are. So I'll wait. I'll do that. I mean, usually it's good on Tuesday. I mean, it sucks with like the you know, that there could be some stat corrections. So like that's why when we get to like championship week and play out, like I don't do the championship, you know, before like Thursday, like filling it out just to be sure of like stat corrections with anything with IDP. And let's see, what song did Toker 1J give us here? All right, let me get it. It doesn't, you know, Sometimes it's not good. Jai said week 12 and 14 are going to be the Widowmakers. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. And I'll be prepping people on that, you know, in advance, because it's like once we get into week 10, it's fucking bad. It's fucking bad. 4 teams on by week 10, 4 on week 11, 6 on week 12, and then 6 on week 14. Like just that stretch right there. Like if you thought fantasy football was insane, just wait until after week 10. It's about to get really fucking insane. And like the people who are the waiver wire and trade, you know, masters during this time, those are the people who are the cream's gonna rise to the top. Because you may have to make trades based on buys and shit like that to like fill these holes. And like week 10, Browns, Packers, Raiders, Seahawks. I mean, the Packers and the Seahawks, like right there. I mean, there's going to be some big time players, you know, on those teams, like the Browns. I mean, Nick Chubb, Raiders, who the fuck knows? I mean, they're saying Devontae Adams might not leave now. They want too fucking much for him. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Okay, one more bowl, and then we'll knock out the injuries, and then we'll get into some of the bye week stuff, or some of the waiver wire stuff. So funny. Remember the Google movie, The Internship? Will Ferrell. I don't like that character too much, but it's better than some of the other characters that he fucking does. Where he's like, you want me to put you out on the Widowmaker? And he was like, what? No, I don't want to go out on the Widowmaker. Hey, Bob in the house. What up, Bob? And Nick said, do we drop Rachaad White? I don't think so. I bet he was hurt. I mean, obviously he got hurt and injured like in the game, and you know, the game before, or actually I don't think he got injured in the game before, but I bet this was building up for a couple weeks though, is what I'm saying. Oh. Whew. Oh. Oh shit. All right. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna have a couple of these videos just like ready, just so I can like click them at any time. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? Come on. And in the future, they'll already be uploaded.
Good shit.
You guys remember where that's from? And fucking, what up, Kyle? What up, Kyle? What up, bro? And Bob said, nice video clip. That's a classic. Does everybody remember where that was at? Where that's from? So I'm gonna have like little tiny video clips like that just to like randomly use. You know, because people like the video little inserts and shit. And if I can have them on the live stream, makes it cool for you guys too, not just for the people watching on the upload. And later in that movie, he's, hey grandma, better stay on my endo before I smoke your ass. Oh man, fucking classic. And Marco said, just traded Ayuk in that league, gave up Jay Cook and my 3rd round pick next year. I'd be trading Ayuk to the other guy who wanted him too. He was willing to give up Jacobs in a 2nd rounder for him. Okay. You're going to try to get 2 of them, right? Chris said, looks like one of those undefeated teams will be getting their first loss from a 4-6 team. Zoo Crew taking out Fried Cracker in the league 134. But you got to make sure, Crispy, that if there's some crazy amount of difference, but don't forget to check who's on the bench, because if there's Monday players on the bench, you know, those players could impact. So you may have to go do this again. Ghost Monkey, what up? He said, just woke up on the day off. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fucking classic scene. Fucking grandma. It's some good shit. And you remember it was always one of the funniest parts to me where he comes in and sees the grandma. He's like, hey, Ashtray, you little motherfucker, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, I'm doing good. How you doing, grandma? And talks about her getting into a fight. And that beat down the police gave me didn't slow me down a bit. And she was like, come on, motherfucker, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. And come on, motherfucker, see what you got. And he's like, no, grandma, nah, come on. And then he just clocks her, boom, and she like flies over the couch. Still hit like a bitch, motherfucker. And Crispy said it's 100%. Well, yes, I understand, Crispy, but listen to the words. Listen to the words. In best ball, it will say that one person is 100% or not. But if they still have people to play on their bench, like let's say a Josh Allen is out there or an Aaron Rodgers or like anything like that, because 100% just means their lineup is filled up with players who played. But in best ball, as you know, if there's people who have yet to play, they could still score more and get into that person's lineup. So they still have to score what that person scored. So, I mean, if he played, I don't know, let's say Goff. Like I just saw Goff had like 47 points or some shit like that. Even if he had Allen or Aaron Rodgers, does he even outscore Goff? Who the fuck knows? You know, but that's all I'm saying, Crispy. You just got to look at the, okay, A-Rod's not getting 60. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just making sure that you know that the what's it called, that if there's guys on the bench that could impact, you know, the total score. And Mondo, what up, bro? He said, would you trade Deontay Johnson for Laporta? It was JSN for Laporta, but now he's asking for Johnson. I probably would. Ghost Monkey said, looks like she was laughing in that scene after she said her line. Probably, right? But yeah, the grandma is definitely one of the best characters in that movie. That shit's funny. You've been using those rubbers like grandmama gave you? Yes, ma'am. Oh, man, that shit is just, it's so fucking funny. Love that movie. All right, let's see. Where are we at? One. All right, let's get in to some injuries that happened this week. It really sucked, man.
It killed Killer, B.
It really did. And I'm just going to go in order of like the teams, you know, Arizona all the way down to Washington, just in alphabetical order. Because we start off with a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, El Concusto. Man, let's see what happens with him. But a guy like Neighbors, he's already going on 2 weeks missing with his concussion. Kaiser White, knee injury, left, did not return for the Cardinals as well. Justin Simmons injured his hamstring. Does this mean that we're going to get some Richie Grant? Does this mean we're going to get some Richie Grant back? Let's see. Nick Harris for the Browns, one of their linemen, right? Jerome Ford, hamstring injury. I mean, Chubb's coming back right at the best time. How about Patrick Surtain going out? Concussion as well. This was one of the biggest ones. Aiden Hutchinson, tibia, the leg. It looked so gross that they didn't even want to. Show it again. Yeah. So Aiden Hutchinson gone. Carlton Davis also for the Lions. El Concusto. For the Packers, Dontavian Wicks, shoulder, left and did not return. For the Jaguars, Travis Etienne, hamstring, left, did not return. Darnell Savage, concussion, left and did not return. For the Chargers, Hayden Hurst Helmsley, exited and didn't return. Deion Leonard, exited, didn't return. Let's see, who else? For the Saints, Chris Olave, Elkin Custo, left and got ruled out. The Honey Badger left, got ruled out as well for the Saints. For the Eagles, dude, Dallas Goedert got hurt so early in that game. Hamstring injury. Yuck. Jamel Dean for Tampa Bay, dude, hamstring injury. He's been killing it. And then for Washington, Dorrance Armstrong left and did not come back. It was really ugly for injuries this week. It really was. Crispy Sal, just wait until tomorrow. That's probably the better move. Yeah, it really is. I mean, even if you did it anytime tonight, at least the players have played. But trust me, like I've done it enough times to realize that you don't want to have to do this twice. There's just a lot of teams to go through. So yeah, I'd wait until tomorrow as well. Because no matter what, we got time to talk about it. I'm sure there's not going to be over. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is over 112-0 teams to talk about. We'll shout them all out, though. Yeah, Andre said, what a weird season it's been, for sure. For sure. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I think the seasons are like a little bit more weird now compared to the past is them taking concussions a little bit more serious. You know, even if we think that they're not taking the concussion serious, still way more serious than before. You know, so many guys weren't leaving with concussions before. They would just stay in the game. And then it'd be like, oh, yeah, I got a concussion during the game. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they would just play next week, you know, and that was like it. There was no missing games for concussions. And that's probably like the biggest thing in the NFL and fantasy football now versus, I don't know, just 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, literally anything. Yeah, a little bit insane. Oh, dang. And this was just from the Sunday game. So I totally didn't even mention Mason. So he said he has a sprained AC joint, and they said it's really all about pain management. So he's probably not going to miss any games. Jesse, would you trade for Marvin Harrison Jr. right now? No. Unless it's Dynasty, then I would. Johnny said, true story, 90% of these concussions would not have led to an absence until recent years. Yeah, and that has to be like the biggest difference. Like, I mean, I don't know why I just thought of it like right this second. That's me literally thinking of it on the spot. You know, the weed be letting you know. But legit, right? Like, I mean, that's what a lot of these injuries are. I mean, it's hamstrings and like fucking concussions. Like, that's like the two like main injuries. And there was always these hamstring like injuries, you know, but like it was the concussions though. Like there were not a lot of guys would just play through it. You maybe miss one play and then you're back. Now they go through the whole process of like everything. And, like it's crazy, like just thinking about it, because I doubt the amount of concussions that people get today is more than what it used to be. Like I bet it's the same, but it's just now there's all these protocols, you know, in place to where guys are being saved from themselves. And Marco said every season weird somehow since I started playing in 2017. Dude, I mean, yeah, it's always injuries that make the football season weird, because guys become superstars based on injuries, guys getting hurt in front of them, you know, things like that. Like we have all these darlings of guys who've won us championships who pop up in week 14, 15, 16 because of an injury to the guy in front of them. Jamie, what up, bro? Austin said soft tissue injuries have been crazy the last couple of years. Do you think it's been like happening more, Austin? And do you think a lot of it is like early in the season stuff because of potentially no training camp? Those are just my first two questions that come to mind. And it's probably the same amount of concussions these days, but players are bigger, more athletic, stronger, bigger, faster. Yeah. Which just shows you though, like it almost doesn't even matter if players are bigger, more athletic, stronger, and all that. Like hits to the head or hits to the head, and like, you know, it doesn't take the biggest and strongest guy to fucking give someone a concussion. Like all these guys are fast, athletic, strong, hit hard. And it's like, but yeah, add that with that, and that just means the concussions are probably, I mean, have we seen any guys wearing the Guardian caps go out with head injuries? Because that's like a thing, right? Like if every guy who I see go out with a concussion is not wearing a Guardian cap or whatever the fuck they call those things. So it might be. And like, I don't know why anybody would really hate on those things. It's like literally just another piece of equipment. Like it looks goofy as fuck. But like, look at Kyler Murray wearing a helmet. It looks like his head is so fucking big. He's like the dude from Little Giants. I can't see with this thing on. Like he fucking looks like that. Like fucking like his head's on huge mode in fucking huge head mode in Blitz or something. You know, so it's like, it's not like the equipment doesn't already make them look funny to a certain extent. I'll say, I think more players are getting soft tissue because the teams don't practice in full pads anymore. Oh, they also don't take preseason games seriously. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So like, even though they're bigger, stronger, faster, kind of legit, just, you know, not to make a pun on the word, but legit just more soft, right? Like these guys that may have not have been more talented, they're just going so hard in practice and like all the time. It's like these guys were just straight warriors, you know, like, yeah, maybe the days of the gladiators are over. I got to get that drop. I can't see with this thing on. Oh man, such a funny scene. Fucking Little Giants, one of the goats for sure. And Marco said, one of my league mates won for the first time since that league was started 8 years ago. Should have won that league at least 2 or 3 more times, but with that roster and the teams, got raped by injury. Yeah, it happens. And multiple times, 3-4 years in a row, it happens. Stranger said, just falling down on gravity and give you a concussion depending on how someone hits. Yeah, if they like hit the back of their head. Like, look at Slayton, man. Like, it looked ugly at the end of the game. Concussions are very tricky. Everyone responds to them differently. Depends on the region of the head as well. And he said, that bong's huge. Oh man, this has been a new addition for a few months now. It's yeah, this was the old one that I haven't used in a little while. Little chugger. And but Jerome Baker, they hooked me up for helping them with their show, the Operation Pipe Dreamers. And so yeah, hooked me up with this bong as a show of gratitude. And they are a sponsor of the show. I don't know if you guys know, but you can get your Jerome Baker pieces for 10% off. They have you know, super fancy ones, but they have some cost efficient like ones as well. And if you go use the promo code fantasy or discount code fantasy, you're able to get that 10% off. I'll throw it in the chat here. But yeah, you guys definitely want to get on the Jerome Baker hype with me. There you go. And Johnny said, you got a house bong now. That little guy's like a dorm or an apartment bong. Exactly. And seeing what I like about this, you know, I feel like it's the perfect size, you know, big pause, but I feel like it's the perfect size. I honestly do. And because I've had another one. I don't know if you guys remember when I was using the Illadelph for a while, and that one was just a little bit too big. Pause. It was really just making me like almost die on a lot of hits, and I can't die on like every single hit. Like it's gonna happen, you know, every once in a while. If he dies, he dies. I'm working on getting that drop too, but yeah, I need to be able to smoke out of, you know, just something regular, normal, you know. This is normal for me. I know it's not normal for everybody else. I took a hit out of a bong once, never again. It sent me to the upside down. Oh man.
Let me hit that bong.
Hell yeah. I like it. I like it. Okay. All right, let me set this up real quick. I'm since we're gonna do the waiver wires right now. I'm also very sensitive to weed, though. No idea why. I know there's some people who I know who just can't smoke weed, but when you say sensitive, what do you mean? Like just any amount just like totally fucks you up? Is that what you mean? Like by that? And Johnny said Jerome Baker is a Cadillac of bongs. Hell yeah, man. And like, you know, you've even heard like Cypress Hill, you know, shout them out as like when Jerome Baker came out, like everything changed. He was like, it stopped being the plastic bongs with metal, you know, in it. And they just set a new standard for like the type of a new standard for the type of bong that you're going to smoke out of, with like the all glass and the glass on glass. Hell yeah. Hey, Bake's in the house. What up, my brother? What's going down, bro? All right. All right. So we got 5 little videos to shoot here. So like I don't need much weed to get high, and I get very paranoid if I'm too relaxed. So you need an indica is what it is. And I mean, yeah, needing to smoke a lot. Yeah, that's, you know, I definitely need a lot. It's just a part of my routine, you know, now. So it's like literally like there's sometimes I'm just like holding the bong and I'm like, fuck, I haven't smoked this bowl and I've been holding it for like 20 minutes. Strange said when I was younger, I hit the bong so long someone else had to light it. Oh shit, and work the carb. Oh man, I've hit a couple 6-footers. That's about it though. One of my friends had this like insane zong where you don't even know how long it was. It was probably, I mean, it was enough to where my arm could reach, but like just barely. But yeah, those 6-footers and shit, like it's tough, man. Yeah, the teamwork ones, yeah. Yeah. Those are definitely those definitely have a time and place, you know, to be used. That's for sure. All right, I gotta refill my water. Let's get this bong load. Then I'm gonna refill my water. Then put on a song real quick, and then we got 5 videos to cover. So we're gonna do the RB waiver wire pickups, and I've already done all my research today. I already did all my research before the show, and wide receivers, defenses to stream, and tight ends and quarterbacks. And Bake say you guys are still talking about bongs. We haven't been talking about bongs that long, have we? And Chef Rand said, looking to buy low on CD or Nico. Last place has them both. Well, Chef Rand, here's what you consider. And Bakes, you heard me pause. I paused a few times, okay? A few pauses in how big those bongs were, okay? No diddy. And Chef Rand, what I would consider buying low on a Nico or a CD would be you trading 3 players for 1. And like that's what you got to convince this person that they need. It could be 3, could be 4 players from your team for just one of those guys. And you would hope that most of those guys are bench players for you because your team's better, and that they would be starters for that person. So as long as the players that you're giving them would be starters for that person's team, or at least potential starters, I think you can make that happen very easily, but you got to give up 3 or 4 for 1. And Johnny said there's a funny bong scene in the second one of those babysitter slasher movies on Netflix. Never seen it. If you light it and pull it to the side, it doesn't count as smoking, right? Or is that just secondhand smoke? What? Oh man, it's fucking ridiculous. And Tracy, Juju, McLaurin, that's what I'm thinking. See, like, I mean, if McLaurin is like a flex guy for you, like really what I would want to try to do is like a flex guy, but flex-ish guy, you know, like, but if you could give 4 players that are bench players for you, but they're legit starters for that other team, you could probably get away with it. But they have to be starters or at least potential starters for that person's team, or else why would they do it? You know, but if you send them 3 or 4 guys that are all starters, you know, that's replacing CD plus 2 other players, like where they really need the depth, because they're in last place. They probably need way more depth with the starters. Mondo said, I remember hitting one of my first times of me hitting a dab. I took a big ass hit, held it in for too long, said fuck, I couldn't breathe for a bit. Then I couldn't walk for about, and then fuck. Damn it, man. Yeah, that shit's crazy. And I mean, I've seen motherfuckers hold it in too long and fucking pass out. You know, like, I mean, really, like with the dabs, I mean, really with a lot of smoke, you don't see me like, I'll hold it in a little bit. It's really like, you know, almost so you don't cough, you hold it into a certain amount, at least I feel. But like once, I mean, there's been some research done on this. Like once you get to like the 2 or 3 seconds, if it actually being in your system, it already, all the THC is gone. So like literally the longer you keep it in, it's just like making other things happen to your body, not necessarily the high part. Because, you know, if you hold your breath, you could fucking make yourself pass out if you like hold your breath long enough, you know, right? Like shit like that. So it's like, you know, making your lungs work overtime. You know, there wasn't more THC that went in there. You just made your lungs work overtime. So you died, you know. But really, 2 or 3 seconds, once the smoke's in there, like you can already blow it out. All the THC has already been captured. Like at that point, everything else, you're just kind of doing, you know, you're making your body work overtime. And Bake said, I need about 20 points from the Bills D tonight. Bitch ass Greg Joseph got me -1. Fuck, said I hate kickers and vanilla leagues. Man, I feel you, bro. Good luck. Marco said that that second quote reminds me of, it's not, oh man, yeah, and yeah, those kind of quotes, man, they're only funny when we were in our teens and 20s, you know, and then we realize how bad that actually is as we get older. And Carl said, is Juju going to be top 10 between weeks 7 and 17? I don't know. There are a shitload of people on bye. I was talking earlier about how all the bye weeks, like there's an insane amount of bye weeks between week 10 and week 14. Literally the minimum, except exclude week 13 because there's no bye weeks. Week 13, I think that might be Thanksgiving. I think that might be the Thanksgiving week. But yeah, this week there's minimum 4 teams on bye each of those weeks, and then 2 of those weeks there's 6 teams on bye. So like, could he be top 10? Maybe, but I really don't think he's going to be. Top 24 is more like it. Chef Rand said, yeah, McLaurin, my second flex. He said, I got Cup, London, and Puka, Bucky, Tracy, Juju all on the bench. Okay. Yeah, not mad at it then. The Dutch Rudder from Jay and Silent Bob. No, that it's from Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Dutch Rudder. See, I'm grabbing your arm. You're grabbing mine. I'm grabbing yours. Double Dutch Rudder. And Stranger said, back in the day, the lore was 10 seconds. Exactly, right? And he said, back in the day, the lore was 10 seconds for max effect. Yeah, and it was really like, yeah, max effect could be making yourself pass out, you know? Like, that was probably max effect. But yeah, that's what's crazy is like 2 to 3 seconds, like literally all the THC is gone at that point. Like holding it in doesn't do anything more to your body for like the content of THC that you're getting, you know? And it's crazy because like some people still don't care about that. Like you'll see me, like, I mean, like I said, I don't like hit it and blow it out like right in a second, you know, you hold it in for a second and then like blow it out. So it's all part of the process. But yeah, you'll never see me like you'll never see me do that because there's like, you know, I mean, if I did that, it would be more for the effect of like what people would think versus like that it's actually getting me more high. Marco said, haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob in a long time. Jay and Silent Bob, legit one of my favorite movies of all time. So fucking funny, man. So fucking funny. And it's because of Jay that I was a foul-mouthed little fucker when I was a teenager as well. That's for sure. I blame it on Jay. Lipsy, should I trade Cook? I already got Walker, Monty, and Gibbs. Potentially. Yeah. I mean, you trying to like make that trade before like tonight's game happens because you don't think he's gonna have a good game? Like I could totally like, you know, understand the reasoning behind that. Yeah, max effect meaning max THC transfer. Yeah. Yeah, they lied to us. It was all folklores anyways, you know. Everything was just like what you heard. And Nipsey said, nah, 4 this week. Like you be trading for Cook? And right opinions on Josh Downs. I like him as long as Flacco is the quarterback. Marco said Rattler worth picking up. Are you talking about that same league where like you're gonna pick up Darnold? Like, I mean, is Rattler worth a pickup? In Dynasty's in Dynasty Superflex, he's probably already rostered, but yeah, it was also but yeah, redraft. I just, you know, I really don't think Rattler is going to be too much of like anything. Like unless he really starts like running a lot more, I don't think he's going to be worth too much. Sharon said we was a lot less potent than too. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one thing. And see, at least Stranger's not one of those guys who like, I don't know. I swear that you know, there's still those people like, oh, weed was like so much better in the 70s and 80s. And like, there's no fucking way that like maybe you smoked some like good shit and maybe you were a beginner, you know, at that time. Like there's a lot of reasons why, you know, nostalgia, you know, a lot of reasons why you may think weed was better back then. But I was like, if I show you some of the best weed that I've ever smoked in California, it's gonna shit on whatever anything that you're smoking now, plus anything that you've smoked in the past. Like we've seen some crazy ass fucking weed, you know, like just the 30% and like the highest I've smoked 36%. And I remember like this one. Okay, I went to the Hall of Flowers, fucking the dopest event that I've been to. Gonna try to make it back there in the off season. It's pretty much like a huge ass expo for some of the best growers in California and other places around the country. They're showing off their new strains, their new flowers, their new products. They're working on, you know, getting deals with shops and yada, yada, you know, whole huge expo. And I went as a content creator and I'm talking to everyone. I'm like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, just checking out the best strains and shit. And they're like, oh, you're a YouTuber, you're going to review these strains? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, here, bro, take it. Just, you know, you post it on Instagram or whatever, you tag us. I was like, all right, I like it. And so I had like 16 different strains, and I was like, I'm gonna get through all fucking 16 of these strains on one episode. We're gonna do one bowl each, and we're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna give little reviews about it along the way, and you know, we'll see which ones stand out to me after this many bowls. And I remember I was really just picking them at random. Like I had all of them on my desk. I'm just picking them at random. And then I'd read out what it was. I'd read out the strain. I'd read out the THC. I'd read out the terpenes. And that was like it. And then I would smoke it. And I remember I was like 11 deep and like the 12th one or the 11th one of the two. I remember hitting it. And like, so what I would do, I would smoke it and then I would read out afterwards what it was. Cause I didn't want whatever I was reading to influence me one way or the other. So I'd pick it, I would open it, I would smoke a bowl, and then I would read it after what was the brand, what was the strain, all that. And then when I got to like 11 or 12, I hit this one and it fucking killed me. It destroyed me compared to all these other ones. Like I know it could have been from me already smoking a bunch, but this one, it was like the one that like took me to like the higher level. And I was like, oh shit, let's read about this. And like read the strain and all that. And I was like, oh shit, 36% THC. That's why this shit killed me right now. And I already have Cook. I was going to try and trade for a wide receiver. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like the trade can go through this week. That's what I'm saying. But you're going to, I understand what you mean. But are you trying to trade them away before this game because of the game? That's what I'm asking. Carl said, I dabbed once. I took a super mini pussy hit in my friend's car, left the driveway, and proceeded back to pace back and forth in my living room to the kitchen for the next 90 minutes, talking to myself while the TV show I wanted to watch was playing and I wasn't paying. Oh man, yeah. See, like dabs are you have to prepare yourself for dabs because there's really good dabs out there. I mean, there's really bad dabs out there, but I mean, whatever your friend gave you, I mean, it sounded like it was pretty good dabs. And very, very high concentrated percentage of THC. Better and potent are two different things. I'll take the now on both. And Doug said I might have to drop Coleman to get Tua. Do it, bro. Marco, and 8th or 9th on the waivers, so there might be a chance. I don't get Darnold. Okay, so I need to look at other. Okay. Danny Real, Rattler, Dalton. Yeah. Corey, we're about to start right now. You made it on time. On time.
Got perfect timing. About to start a little puff give in this motherfucker.
I've already done all my research. Nice. Mondo said so. The dude accepted JSN for Laporta. Nice. All good in the hood. Laporta didn't get a lot of targets, but at least it was one that paid off. Cowboys are pretty good against defending the tight end, so it wasn't really that good of a matchup. And Lipsy, oh no, it's not because of this game, just in general. Okay. So I mean, with who you have, I would be open to like trading Cook. It just all depended on who you were able to get. And yeah, I was just trying to figure out your logic if you were just trying to trade him before this game because you thought you thought he was gonna have a bad game. Mondo said yes, and better than what I got in Njoku. Oh, plus it's a keeper league. Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like you just bought Laporta at his all-time low value right now. All right. Keep in mind I'm 1-4. I mean, and you need a wide receiver. Like, I'm not gonna like what you have to do if you're 1-4. First off, you got to figure out why you're 1-4. Go look at your points for, go look at your points against. If you're one of the top teams in points against, like you just have a bad schedule, so that's just one of the things that sucks. It's part of the variables of fantasy football. But now, if you have just had a bad schedule, things will probably get easier for you along the way. So I wouldn't panic. But if you haven't had a bad schedule and your team just sucks in the points for category, that means you need to trade like one of your hitters who hasn't been hitting for like 3 pieces and try to build up like that way. All right. I'm going to play a quick song here. I'm going to go refill my my water, and then we're going to get back into we're going to get to the waivers. Mondo, should I trade Shakir and 30 plus? Okay, we're starting with the running backs. Here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Almost forgot to mark the time on this. Trying to be good for the people who are watching this on replay. What up? What up? It is Alex, the fantasy football hustler, and we are talking about the running back waivers. It is ugly. Each week it keeps getting a little bit uglier on waivers, but I got 6 running backs to get on your radar right now. Some might be household names. Let's jump into it. All right. Some of these you may love, some of these you may hate, but most teams are injured right now, so we got to make moves. Make moves. Now, the lowest hanging fruit as of Thursday was Isaac Guerrero. Twitter, they was blowing up. Here is your number one waiver wire pickup for the week. It's Isaac Guerrero season. He was 10 for 99. Nobody even got those points. He didn't get into the end zone. So I just wanted to make fun of the people who completely like jumped out of the window for Guerrero because they said Mason might not even miss any time. If you have Mason, go do your due diligence, go pick him up. But I just wanted to make fun of all those goofy analysts who are like, Guerrero to the moon. He's going to be a top 5 running back now that there's no CMC and there's no Mason. But they said Mason might not even miss any time. It's a sprained AC joint. It's a sprained AC, and it said it's more about pain management than anything. So do your due diligence, but don't be one of those goofy people who are. Now, I never really want to talk about the Raiders running backs, Alexander Madison, just throwing it out there because he's 51% rostered. I mean, the work's not going to be that good. He needs a touchdown. It's really just him getting enough of the receptions to kind of keep his floor somewhat high. So if you are super desperate, pick up Alexander Madison. Hopefully you're not that desperate, though. But he is 51% rostered, and I usually just talk about guys who are rostered in 50% or less. I usually talk about guys who are rostered in 50% or less of leagues, but you know, it's so thin. I figure I'd just throw him. Running back is so thin that I figured that I would just throw him out there as well. Lipsy, what up? Jack said ETN is week to week. Yeah, with the hammy. Yeah. So he's probably not going to play this next week. Moneyline Mills, what up, bro? He said, let's cash, my guy. Tighten up. Let's get it. I got 2 guys on this list that I really like. Tyrone Tracy, I talked about him last week. Hopefully you guys paid attention because he's at 45% rostered this week, so he still makes the cut of this video. It's not like he did amazing, but 22 points is nice. He had 1 touchdown. He's getting a lot of the receptions. Even when Devin Singletary comes back, I find it hard to believe that Tyrone Tracy is just going to completely go away. So that's why you want to pick him up and stash him now. Even if you don't play him, I mean, the last 2 weeks, he's had serviceable games for a flex guy, but there's like nobody out there. Like, that's one of the things that sucks right now. Like, there's nobody out there. So Tyrone Tracy is someone, even if you pick up and you use in a piece, you pick up and you use as a trade piece, you know, maybe one of these 3-for-1 trades, 2-for-1 trades, something like that. Maybe he can help you tier up to a better quality running back, better quality wide receiver. So if he is available and you didn't do it last week,
Pick him up.
let's do it. CB Dizzle, hear what Ridley told reporters. He said, should I need some targets in the beginning of the game too? Shit's getting crazy for me. I didn't hear that. CB Dizzle doesn't help when you keep dropping the ball. Yeah, but I mean, how many drops does he have on the season compared to how many bad passes he's had thrown his way? And the Demon, how about them Lions out? Man, they killed him. Killed him.
They killed Killer, B.
And Mondo said picked up Tracy 2 weeks ago. He's been killing it for me. There we go. There we go. Jeff Rand Ridley ain't happy. I don't blame him. Yeah, for sure. Jeff, should I pick up Downs or Dubs? Leaning on dubs. I mean, I kind of like both though. Like you able to pick up both somehow. All right, here we go. Last guy. My last guy on this list, a little bit more available than Tracy. That's why I left him as the last guy. Tyler Algier. He is doing good. He goes in spurts of doing bad and doing nothing and then doing good. Look at what he did. 18 carries for 105 yards. Touchdown. Not really getting that much carry. Not really getting that many receptions, though. That's one of the kind of thing. That's one of the things that kind of sucks. But the Falcons, they still like him. They like him a lot. And it's kind of ridiculous, but this is why you got to pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because there could be random games like this where they just run the ball so much that they give Algier more run than they give Bijan. Kind of insane. And there you have it. There's the running back waiver wire pickups for week 7. I know it is very ugly. Trust me, it is ugly all around. We got to keep making these moves weekly, trying to turn these guys into potential trades. That's one of the best things that we can do, fill in these bye weeks. We only got the Cowboys and the Bears on bye week, so it's a very light bye week compared to the last 2, thankfully. And then we got no buys in week 8. Go check out all the other waiver wire videos that I did, all positions, defense and special teams, and IDP waiver wires coming on Tuesday. Thanks for clicking on one of those videos. Rinse and repeat because I'm bringing you the heat. Go check out all those videos. All right. Running backs in the books. Let's do wide receivers next. What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, bringing you week 7 waiver wire ads for the wide receivers. We only got 2 teams on bye, so you might not be hurting for pickups, but you should be making pickups every single week to keep improving your bench. And it all starts right now going into week 7. And in week 7, I got 7 wide receivers to talk about. Some of these guys we might have mentioned before. Some of these guys are going to be new to get on your radar. Let's go. All right. Let's see. Who are we going to talk about first? I'm going to briefly mention Darius Slayton. I mentioned him last week, the week before. You guys should have picked him up. We got to be paying attention. If Neighbors comes back, but also we got to be paying attention. He left with a head. He left with a head injury, and yeah, let's see if it was Elkin Custo. We didn't really hear much about it because I believe it was kind of at the end of the game. But look at it, back-to-back games with 11 targets. If Neighbors comes back, it's obviously. If Neighbors comes back, there's a really good chance that he doesn't get 11 targets in the game, but he's been pretty solid. And I almost feel like either way, he doesn't go away and they start running just more 3 and they start running more 3 wide receiver sets in general for the Giants. Couldn't spit that out. It was like a tongue twister. Now, this next guy, Rashad Bateman. Trust me, I know what you're going to say. Don't fall for the bait, man. Yeah, I know. All of these things, I know. In the 3 out of the last 4 games, he's had double-digit points. Now, that's kind of insane. Really is. They're moving the ball very well right now as an offense. And Bateman, if you are desperate, you must be desperate. But the matchup is decent versus Tampa Bay. I was one of the first people to tell you don't fall for the bait, man, and that he's been trash. But, you know, a lot of injuries this year. So if you need to pick up someone to play in your flex,
Pick him up!
if you dare. All right. Let's see. Nerd alert. What up, bro? Let's see. Now, everybody knows Xavier Legette.
X gon' give it to you.
And I keep kind of saying, I really don't want this guy, but now we come to a matchup that I would want to deploy him in versus the Washington Commandos. They just keep giving up points to the wide receivers and a whole bunch of booty. And I feel like if you want to catch someone with their pants down, big pause, it's going to be Xavier Legette going up against the Commandos. And Legette's only 19% rostered. So I know that he was dropped a bunch in a lot of places. Go see if he was dropped in the league that you play in. You could do a lot worse than Legette this week. It's all about the matchups, not really about the volume that he's been getting, but you would hope in a matchup like this that's very juicy that his volume would increase and his efficiency would increase.
X gon' give it to you.
Nerd alerts, I got X. That Sermon was a big mistake. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough matchup. Jeff, I need 14 from Josh Allen tonight. Do I get the dub? You definitely got a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Let's see. How many guys did I mention already? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I got 4 more guys to mention. Make sure you stick around because at the very end, I got a 1% rostered wide receiver and a 7% rostered wide receiver. So stick around. Josh Downs, a little bit more of a household name, 48% rostered. So he's still able to crack this list. As long as it is Joe Flacco, I will be playing Josh Downs in a flex role. Okay. Pick him up.
Pick him up!
Should have did it weeks ago, but now we know. Now we know that Richardson, he didn't play. Now we know that they like Flacco and that Richardson may get a couple weeks on the bench, so they let his hip rest. They made it seem like he was going to play all week, just with the way that we acquired the news all week. And then last minute, Flacco's the starter and Richardson's the emergency QB3. And I bet it stays like that for a couple weeks. So Josh Downs, pick him up.
Pick him up!
And you can fire him up.
All right, fire him up!
Let's go. And Jeff said, once again, you have the best sound bites.
I know all this, okay? But I do like hearing it, so go on.
All right. And so 14 should be no sweat for him, right? Let me see. That was 1. Any word on Shakir yet? Nothing official. Probably not going to hear anything about Shakir until like an hour and a half before game time. I mean, we might get a little soundbite, you know, or a little blurb about him that he's expected to play, but we kind of got that on. Well, actually, no, we never got that at all at any time this week. Romeo Dubs, next guy on my list here. He is 35% rostered, and he's one of the obvious guys.
Well, obviously,
kind of acted like a little biatch last week, talking shit, hating on everybody, hating on the scheme, probably hating on Wicks because his ass can't catch and he was getting more targets. But he's back after his suspension. He got 2 touchdowns. Both of those were pretty nice. Not a lot of targets, so only 4 targets. But I feel like a guy like him with the Packers, with their offense, you got to pick him up if he's available.
Pick him up!
Rostered in 35% of leagues. It's not even that available. But I told you to hang around for my last 2 guys because my last 2 guys here, 1% rostered and 7% rostered. Very available. Let's go. What up, Flash? Said, hey, so Watson on waivers, wide receiver room is trash. Ayuk, Harrison, Juju, Cup. Do I drop McNichols for Watson? Yeah. And Mark said, is Wicks droppable? Yeah, I think the last news on him is he's week to week. With the injury that he sustained. Crispy said better have a handcuff. Yep. John said ETN's doubtful, and I got Bigsby. Yeah, and go pick. Man, I should have said Dearness Johnson. Man, maybe I should have said that, but fuck it. And Flash said you like Watson over Dubs. No, I think I'd rather have Dubs. Okay. You'll get some numbers for this guy. All right. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. Now, my 7% rostered guy, Demario Douglas, a.k.a. Pop Douglas. He is definitely Drake May's favorite target out there. They've been saying that since the preseason, and now that it's probably going to be Drake May for the foreseeable future, I feel a guy like Pop Douglas you're going to have to pick up and go start in a flex capacity where you can. Only getting about 60% of the snaps. That's one of the reasons it caused a pause, but he's definitely going to be amongst the high target. He's going to be amongst the highest targeted wide receivers on their team. That's for sure. Check out this sneaky bonus wide receiver that I'm just sneaking in here. You got to check. I totally forgot. There was one guy that I knew I needed to mention. Now we're just sneaking one in here. I didn't even count this guy because it might be like a little bit too sneaky. But Keyshawn Butte. Oh, Keyshawn! He got 3 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. And he also played over 80% of the snaps on a team where most guys are playing like 60%, like at best. So Butte, if that's how you pronounce his last name, just funnier to say it that way. He might be someone to pick up and stash. I would not really be recommending playing him, but Keyshawn, go pick him up. Oh, Keyshawn! Doug, so what's up with Kyler Murray? Just looking bad, man. You ain't got no Marvin Harrison. You're looking bad. What up, Coach C? Now, here's my last guy here. I'm not disappointing with this 1%er, Noah Brown. Oh, yeah, Noah Brown for the Washington Commandos. He's getting the second most snaps in the last couple games next to Scary Terry. That's as opposed to Luke McCaffrey, De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zacchaeus. He's the next man up, but he's been hurt in a handful of games this year. And so that's the thing that's kind of been holding him back. But you look, in week 4, he played 67%. Scary Terry had 71%. In week 5, he doesn't play. He was hurt. He missed the game. Week 6, 64%, next to 80% for Scary Terry and Luke McCaffrey. 37%, De'Ami Brown 32, Olamide Zacchaeus 39. So even though that he was hurt in week 5, it didn't matter. He jumped back in to 60% of the work. It turned into 8 targets, 4 receptions for 58 yards. Not necessarily like the craziest game. This is more about a picking up and stash for a potential boom a little bit later, because he does seem like he's the solid wide receiver too, like over there, as long as he's healthy. And the way that Jaden Daniels has kind of been pacing, we should have a lot of yardage and a lot of targets to go around. And so Noah Brown, more of that stash, and he's available everywhere. So even if you are in the deepest of the deepest leagues, he's available as well. That's why I left him towards the end as one of my sneaky pickups. And what do we do with these sneaky pickups? Don't tell don't tell nobody.
But shh, don't tell nobody.
And there you have it. We made it all the way to the end of the wide receivers. There you go. Make sure you check out all the other waiver wire videos. Make sure you subscribe. I'll be your biggest fantasy resource throughout the season. We go live every single morning with a lot of great content. So make sure you are here with us. And go check out all the other waiver wire videos that are popping up right now. Rinse and repeat with these videos because I'm bringing the heat. Go click, go like, go leave comments. There you have it. All right. And Jamie said, man, just dropped Noah Brown in Dynasty because I needed to move on, play off of IR. Yeah. It hasn't been great. It's really, it's the potential of what I see. And it hasn't been great because his ass has been hurt, you know? Dang it. I totally forgot to mark down when the wide receiver portion started here. All right, let's see. Damn it, guess I can't even. Yeah, I guess I got to check after the show. All right. Fuck it. Never mind. All right. And Corey said, what are your top 2 running backs and top 2 running backs, top 2 wide receivers out of the names? Josh Downs and Dubs for the wide receivers. And for the running backs, Tracy and Algier. Uh-oh. Russ said the video of pros on Facebook. Uh-oh. Come to YouTube, bro. Come to YouTube. Yes, sir. Got you, Corey. What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, and I'm bringing you 6 defenses that you can stream for week 7. You got to be making moves every single week at your defense. You got to be making moves with that defensive spot every single week. There might be times where you drop the defense so you can pick up a waiver wire guy, and then you pick up a defense later in the week. That's one strategy you could definitely deploy. I'm going to leave you. We're going to start with some of my least favorite teams, and then we're going to kind of make our way all the way to my favorite picks. So sit back, buckle up. We got 6 defenses to talk about, all rostered in under 50% of leagues. My first team here is the Indianapolis Colts, and I feel like you have to be a little bit desperate to pick up the Colts, but they are 26% rostered. So 3 out of 4 leagues, they are available. They're going up against the Dolphins. This is all about the matchup. The defense is decent, but this is more about the matchup than anything. We know that Tua is not going to be back yet. So the Colts, you should be picking them up and deploying them, and they are readily available. All right, Russ out on YouTube watching now. Let's get it. Munzie, what up? Full PPR. Drake London, Brees Hall for Christian McCaffrey and Amon-Ra. Are you getting Christian McCaffrey and Amon-Ra? I feel like I'd do it. Let's see. Now, this one almost didn't make the list. They are 4% rostered. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They do make me a little bit nervous. Let me take that back. They make me a lot of bit nervous, but they're going up against the Patriots. And the Patriots have not really been that good. They're still giving up top points to team defense. So if you are super desperate, Jacksonville Jaguars might be a team you might have to jump to the bottom of the trash can to go grab. But Drake May, I bet he makes a mistake. The Jaguars are at home as well, so that's one thing that they do have going for them. So if you are beyond desperate,
Pick him up!
Monzi, I'm getting McCaffrey. I'd probably do that then if you're getting McCaffrey. You got to be able to weather the storm for a little bit, right? Let's see here. Now here's another team you got to be a little bit desperate to go grab. They've been good in a few back-to-back games a couple weeks ago, but I mean they played Baltimore. And we're talking about the Washington Commandos. They played Baltimore this past week, so obviously they didn't put up a bunch of points.
Well, obviously,
I don't think anybody thought they were going to put up a bunch of points, but this week now they're going up against the Panthers. The Panthers, they've been giving up some booty to the team defense, and Commandos are probably only 4% rostered because they got dropped because they played Cleveland right before that, and they had a really solid game, their best game of the season. Now going up against the Panthers, I feel like you can pick them up.
Pick him up!
And fire them up.
All right, fire him up!
Crispy said, I'll give you McCaffrey for that all day. Well, yeah, Crispy, but he's talking about redraft, not dynasty. And if he is talking about dynasty, I probably wouldn't recommend that trade. Dude, I totally forgot. Thanks, Will. Dang it. Now I need to go back to that. Yeah, because now being in London. Thanks for that, because I totally forgot that they're staying in London for back-to-back games. So the Jaguars, if you're a little bit desperate, they would be a team to pick up. Only 4% roster. They really haven't done good many games this year, but they're the home team in London, and they've been there playing now for 2 weeks in a row. So they're going to have the upper hand on a guy like Drake May. We know a fresh QB like Drake May can make some mistakes. At least the Jaguars do have a pretty good secondary, even though they have some injuries to a handful of other positions. So I think that if you're desperate, this is one of those teams. I mean, you jump to the bottom of the trash can and you use if you have to. That's kind of one of the only reasons I'm using them is really if you have to, though. And thanks again for that, Will, because, yeah, being in London changed my take a little bit. I like them a little bit more now after that. The ugliness keeps coming and coming for your defenses to stream. But I'm bringing up the Bengals. They really haven't been the best. They've actually been pretty bad for most of these games. But they did have one of their best games of the season against the Giants. And now they got the Cleveland Browns. We know it's going to be a really tough game. Probably going to be a low-scoring game for the Browns. It's going to be Nick Chubb's first game back, so I bet he's not getting some insane amount of work right away. So the Bengals, if you dare. Mistake. So the Bengals, if you dare.
Pick them up!
Because the Browns have been very, very bad and giving up a lot of points to team defense. I got 2 teams to talk about here. The New Orleans Saints are going to be one of them. They're going up against the Denver Broncos. We have seen 2 versions of the Denver Broncos. The Saints are going to be at home. So I assume that we're going to see the not so good version of the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, he can throw a big old greasy pick. And we know that their offense more often than not is not in sync. So the Saints, I would go pick them up. They are 34% rostered as of now, so available in 2/3 of leagues out there. And Stranger said, I would dare. Should be a decent game for him. I made it all the way to the number 6 team, which is my favorite team to pick up if they are available. It is the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Green Bay Packers are available. The Green Bay Packers are available. The Green Bay Packers are only rostered in 46% of leagues, so they do make the cut being under 50%. I bet that a lot of managers will be dropping the Packers because they are going up against the Texans. They are still my favorite streaming, even though they are going up against the Texans, because they have been so solid at all forms of defense, whether it is getting a handful of fumbles, whether it's getting interceptions or not, whether it's getting to the quarterback, even though they didn't get to Kyler this past week. They have been pretty solid at all phases of the defense, and most games, they've been looking like their defense is kick ass out there. You look here, if you're on YouTube looking, there's only 2 games where they had single digits. So be on the lookout, because even if the Packers are not available in your league right now, I bet you could be in a league that someone drops them because they don't want to go up against the Houston Texans. I say still make that play. The Packers are at home. Let's do it. And there you have it. There is week 7 edition of the defenses to stream. Make sure you are here weekly. I hit week after week on these defenses that you need to pick up and stream. And in addition to the defense, I got all the offensive positions as well. So hit that subscribe and then check out one of these videos that's popping up around you, because one of these guys may actually win you your season. It starts right now. Make these pickups. Do not rest on your laurels. Johnny said a Debo 30-point game incoming. Let's go. Fuck, I totally didn't mark the defense again on the time. Totally fucking up. Yeah, I guess we're just fixing this after. Quarterbacks. Ooh, quarterbacks are so ugly this week. It is trash. Because so many are rostered now. And there's only 2 guys on bye. What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. We got a really quick quarterback waiver wire video. I only have 3 quarterbacks to pick up because it is so bare bones out there. Everybody is rostered. I think a lot of people are rostering 3 and 4 quarterbacks in their leagues because of the percentages. And there are some guys who are rostered in less than 50% of leagues I'm not even talking about because I don't even want a part of their game at all this week. So let's jump into it. With this first guy, I'm going to cheat because if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. He's rostered in 56% of leagues. Sam Darnold. Hopefully, he was dropped in your league because of bye. Pick him up.
Pick him up!
And fire him up.
All right. Fire him up!
I know Detroit just handled biz against the Cowboys, but Vikings coming off a bye. If he's available, I'm picking him up and starting him over a lot of random QBs out there. Justin Herbert. I'm always smoking bowls of Herbert. He has been very whack so far, and I really don't want to pick him up. He's 41% rostered every single week. He goes down and down and down and down in the roster percentage, and it's because he keeps doing so bad. So it's really if you're desperate. The last guy that I have, he's only rostered in 10% of leagues, and I would pick him up and start him over Herbert in a New York minute. So let's check out the last person here because I really don't want to pick up Herbert. It's so bad that he's one of the better matchups that I feel, but it's been all bad for Herbert. It's that haircut again. Here we go. You've heard me talk about Andy Dalton before. The Red Rocket. People go in waves of loving and hating this guy because we know when he played Chicago, people hated him after that. He only put up like 2 points. But then goes and he plays Atlanta, does his thing, 20 points. He's got the Commandos in week 7. So that's a reason why you want to play him because of the matchup. Amongst nothing else, if there's nothing else to go off of, Commando still giving up extreme booty to the wide receivers and especially to the quarterbacks. So if Dalton is there, you better
Pick him up!
And you better.
All right. Fire him up!
Let's go. And there you have it. Little quick hitter for the quarterbacks. We got the IDP video coming out on Tuesday. So make sure all you IDP savants check that out. And go check out all these other videos. We got the running backs, waiver wires, tight ends, defenses to stream. All these videos, very, very valuable. Do me a solid, rinse and repeat on these videos because I'm bringing the heat. Subscribe, like, comment. Appreciate you. All right. Let me knock out the last video because tight ends suck also. 6. What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. I am bringing you tight ends. I am bringing you 6 tight ends to pick up for week 7. And as usual, it is very, very loose. It is spooky season around here in real life, and it is spooky season around these tight ends. Let's jump into it. I'm starting off with the spooky of the spooky. I got two guys from the same team, and it's really the game that they're going up. It's really the game that they're going. Both of these guys have made the list because of the matchups that they are in. Foster Moreau, 1% rostered with Spencer Rattler. It's going to be ugly either way. These are like if you dare type guys. We only got 2 tight ends on bye. So we're not super desperate at tight end, but if you are, you may have to go with a guy like Foster Moreau. It's very ugly. And PJ said, Hush, you're still going your machine. Oh, yeah, we're going 3 hours in, baby. 3 hours in. I was not happy to have to mention Foster Moreau. Trust me. I don't really want to mention Juana Man Johnson, but I like him a little bit best. I like him a little bit better than Foster Moreau. So if you were kind of picking and choosing, you know, over like which guy of those guys you are trying to pick up because you need someone that's like barely rostered, I'm going with Juana Man Johnson out of the 2. But it is very ugly either way. All right. I told you it's spooky season. That's getting very ugly. I'm not going to disappoint because we're going Noah Fant. I've mentioned him before. He's only 27% rostered. They're going up against the Falcons this week. It's pretty ugly, but you could do a lot worse. He got 6 targets this past week. If you have to, if you must,
Pick him up.
there you go. Hat tip. Hey, what up, Zeb? What's going down, bro? And Stranger Time, I'm here all the way with you, Huss. You the man. Appreciate you. What up, Jaws? Any interesting news, injury updates this morning? I mean, I did mention all the injuries a little bit earlier. What was some of? I mean, I feel like we've heard them all already. But Hutchinson. I mean, that was a big one. Then we're hearing like potentially Max Crosby, going to Detroit after that. But yeah, there's Abraham said thoughts on Dallas Goedert's injury. For fantasy, not gonna have that big of an impact, but for anyone starting Dallas Goedert, it's probably a blessing in disguise. And Zeb said, going to Vegas this weekend, bro. Nice. What's the plans in Vegas, homie? Anytime you come to Vegas, just buy me a ticket to something that you're doing and just let me know and I'll roll with. And PJ said Stefanski said sticking with Watson gives us our best chance to win.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah.
Stefanski said Nick Chubb is making his way towards starting. Said they're just taking it day by day. Oh, I think he meant win the number 1 draft pick. That's funny. Sorry, dude. I read the first half. Didn't read the second half. He said, let's go hard going to the Sphere and the buffet and all. Nice. What are you seeing at the Sphere? I have no idea what's there right now. I've mentioned this guy before, Cade Otton. He's got the Ravens this week. The Ravens have been pretty bad against the tight end. He's 36% rostered. He's actually the most rostered tight end out of everybody that I'm mentioning on this video. I got another guy coming next who's 26% rostered, and I got one of those don't tell nobody tight ends coming in at 1% at the very end. But Cade Otton, he's probably one of the guys who I like the most out of this whole video. It just sucks, man. Like he just goes in these waves of being bad and being good, but that is like literally the nature of the tight ends this year. It sucks. It's very loose. Doug said, do I drop Wandale or Coleman? I have to make room for Hawkinson. Probably Coleman. Need to make a free Jameis avatar. Yeah. Let's see. If you are really hurting for tight ends this week, I actually really like Hunter Henry, and he's been dropped in a shitload of leagues. He's only 26% rostered as of now, going up against the Jaguars. Very, very good game for the tight ends. At least Cole Kmet will say so. So if Hunter Henry is available,
Pick him up.
and he's someone that you can fire up.
All right. Fire him up.
5 targets wasn't insane, but I know a guy like Drake May, I'm sure will be keying in on the tight ends a bunch as one of their check down options, as one of his check down options. All right. Here's one of these don't tell nobody guys.
But don't tell nobody.
Jatavion Sanders, only 1% rostered. The rookie over there for the Panthers. Over 70% of snaps the last couple weeks. And yes, Tommy Tremble is out, but Tommy Tremble's like really nothing. 5 targets last week. 5 targets 2 weeks ago, 7 targets this past week, 5 for 49, nothing special. But if this is a tight end who stays in the starting role, even after Tommy Tremble comes back, he might be someone who just helps you during these crazy tight end bye weeks or whatever. But yeah, a pickup and potential start versus Washington. They've been kind of middle of the road in giving up points to the tight end. So I'm not super excited. This is more of like a pickup and like stash because nobody is really on him yet. Yeah. Jatavion Sanders. Let's fucking go. Don't tell nobody.
But don't tell nobody.
And there you have it. 6 tight ends. They're all ugly. Every single week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you keep checking these videos out because we got to be making moves weekly. And turn on the notifications so you'll be notified when I go live. I go live every single morning answering questions, a whole bunch of stuff in addition to recording these videos. So make sure you come through, get your questions answered. And with all these other videos, rinse and repeat because I'm bringing the heat. Go click on all of them and go like, subscribe, comment. Let's go. And Tremble was back this week, right? You know what? I don't know. I hope so. Because that makes it even better. No, he was not gone this week. Tremble looked exciting like 3 years ago. Yeah, yep. Jesse, should I pick up Kmet off waivers? I've likely. Yeah. Mondo, I said, so I got another offer for Swift for Devonta Smith. I'll get Swift. Nah, don't do that. Nah. All right. There we go. I was a little bit more efficient. I still waited a long time to start the waivers, but I feel like I was a little bit more efficient. We knocked those out pretty quick. Took about an hour to record all 5 of those videos. And we gotta sell some of these squares, guys. Anybody need to get any squares? Let me know. They're only $6.90 each. We're gonna have 3 $80 winners. We're gonna have 4 $20 winners, and the big winner is $180. So a lot of money up for grabs and only $7.90 to play. You probably want to grab more than one number. It's just a little bit more fun that way. It gives you a little bit more stakes in the game. And we have a lot of with fantasy and everything, there's just another way you can spend small amounts of money, have a little bit of extra fun on the game. Smoke it up. Woo! Let's get it. And we got Monday Night Football tonight. What's everybody's predictions on Buffalo versus those goddamn Jets? Hold on, let me see.
What are you doing in here, cutie? Watching football. Who do you want to win? The goddamn Jets. Have fun.
The goddamn Jets. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Couple websites, fantasyfootballhustler.com. Actually, really, if you go there, you can go follow me everywhere. So just go over there, go check it out. And yeah, fantasyfootballhustler.com. You'll be able to follow me everywhere. And Josh said, I wish I had dealt with Olave before the season. I dealt Olave before the season started. Hadn't seen the latest, but concussion before at least looked bad. Yeah, sucks, man. And Marcus said, what happens if the square for the game ends in a tie? Well, it doesn't matter if it ends in a tie because there's, if it's 20-20, someone has 0-0. So, yeah, that doesn't affect us, not at all. Peace out, PJ. Peace out, everybody. We'll catch you guys for Monday Night Football. Let's get it.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes